No, I tell you, I reckon this is the format where, however long I captain for, whether it's Canterbury, wherever, you very rarely were 100% certain on what you're going to do on the toss. I was watching earlier, there was this final we played on 2007, that was on just before this. We were up in the dressing room watching a bit of that, and I remember every game there from about the last couple of group games I wanted to bat first, but lost the toss and ended up bowling. And we won every single one of those games, to the point where we got to the final was the first time I won the toss, wanted to generally always bat, but thought, well, I may as well have a bowl. It's just a format, you have no real clue. Be slow, as it always is here, really, but spin might come into it. Short boundaries, so not easy to know what a good score is.
You were saying something to me off air, actually, about half an hour ago. A lot of your games here in 2020 are under lights. You can see the floodlights there, but they won't come into action. And generally the pitch behaves slightly differently under lights, so yeah, interesting decision there from Stephen Croft, but Sam Northeast is happy. I looked at the pitch as well. It just looks a little crusty on top, a little bit dry. The rain that we've had here during the last 4 or 5 days hasn't had any impact at all on the surface. There's one of the star turns. He'll keep wicket, of course. Spoke to him in interviews. Absolutely chuffed, as you'd imagine, having regained the Ashes. So Josh Butler will keep wicket for Lancashire, and Daniel Bell-Drummond will open the batting for Kent, one of Kent's very finest young players. Rob Key has stepped aside from the 2020 game to allow some of these youngsters to take their chance, and he's certainly done that.
Yeah, that batting index would have gone up this year because he hasn't played a lot of 2020 cricket, but he would have only been around 100 the last couple of years, and he's got right up there, 143. That's what we look at, really. Just get that batting index up. Hussey talks of good players around 180. That's a good game. That's where you want to be.
So Danley will be with him, and the captain will get us underway. Stephen Croft, we quite often see this, don't we? Just an over of spin, almost just to try and get it out of the way. Puts pressure on the opening batsman, not quite sure what tempo to bat at. Should be a cracking game, this one. As I say, Kent have played so well during the group stages. I was waiting for people milling around behind the screen. I mean, come on, guys. I think there's a slight problem with the sight screen as well. Yeah. No, move it away.
We've only had a week to prepare for this game, I reckon.
Come on, Keys, they're your lot here, aren't they? Yeah, get them under control.
I don't think they are. That's the blast people.
Well, I'm going to blame you.
They got a bit of sponsorship.
Right, let's get going. So you think it's going to turn?
Yeah, I do. Oh, I think generally here, I mean, you get in the middle, there's a little bit in it. James Treadwell, that's why he bowls, well, not just the only reason why he bowls well, but there's enough on offer, a little bit with the slope as well. You bowl in, so he's trying to turn it into the right-hander here, Croft, but the slope's going the other way, so it might just hold its line a little bit. New ball doesn't always spin, mind.
Pretty well in the last few games of the Blast, 61, 31 and 70, but of course there's been a couple of week break between those games and this. So more attention really on the 50-over game in your championship form.
Catch!
Uppish, but finds the gap. Beats Croft, beats mid-off. Doesn't quite beat long on. Aaron Lilly coming round.
I reckon in a way it's your worst case scenario facing a spinner the first over. You just want a bit of pace on the ball. Denley, Bell-Drummond like pace on the ball, but spinner's making you put everything on it. You have to have a go.
Beautiful shot, high-class shot, just beats extra cover, and it will race down that hill very quickly. Good start this for Denley.
Yeah, that'll settle the nerves. Almost looked like he tried to bowl a leg spinner, almost rolled his fingers the other way, Croft. He was too short, too wide, and it's just going to fly along the hill. As long as you get it down that slope, get it through the infield, it's going to go.
Good batting. Sam Northeast said, didn't he, at the toss to me, big quarter-final, I want to post a score and put pressure on the opposition. Interesting how both captains saw that completely differently. Looking pretty flustered again, Jimmy.
Nice, boy.
8 from the first over.
I wouldn't say Jimmy's the most relaxed man. I think appearances can be deceptive. He'll be churning inside there, Jimmy. He'll have 1,000 things going through his head.
Done a brilliant job, though. Encourages younger players to play in the spirit and manner that they have. Must be delighted. You know, I guess he'll just be hoping, Rob, that they can play in the same way that they have during the group stages with the pressure of a quarter-final.
Well, often. That's why I always like opening when you get to the big games, because it's down to you. And that's what everyone wants, really. You just think, please get off to a good start. Whatever team you are, we saw that yesterday, Vince and Carberry. All the build-up, all the preparation, you just want a good start. What was it? Second ball, Vince came charging down, smashed the ball through the covers. Things like that, a good power play, just get you, right, OK, now we're back into just normal service resumed.
Tom Bailey with a slip-in. The other thing, wasn't it, the game we did yesterday with James Vince in particular, and Michael Carberry at the start, taking every run that there was. Singles, twos, run them hard, don't just think about your boundaries.
Yeah, it was almost so much so that Carberry had blown his legs up, hadn't he, by the time he got to 40. Carb said he's not a young man anymore.
A little bit of movement there. Was this a fairly straightforward team for Jimmy and Sam Northeast to pick?
Yeah, that's but the only probably decision they had was Hun or Thomas. Matt Hun has come in and bowled really well. Ivan Thomas had been injured leading up to this game and hasn't played as much, but did really well. It was probably his first game we saw on Sky here against Essex. Jesse Ryder was flying and Thomas, I think, got a wicket with his very first ball, got him out LBW. Whereas Matt Hun's a bit more of a tall, quicker seamer, if you like, whereas Ivan Thomas got a few more change-ups. Back of the hand, slower balls, knuckle balls. Going to be a big test for all of them, though. Alex Blake there, he's had a standout time. He's hit the ball as well as anyone I've ever seen at Kent, including Darren Stevens. Generally regarded as our better hitter or biggest hitter. Blake's been right up there.
And interesting that a lot of the guys have got pads on, so does that mean that it's fairly flexible, or everyone's just hoping
worried?
That, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what Martin McKay used to say to me when myself and Dave Thornton put our pads on. He'd be number 9 and he'd say, I'd get my pads on now, mate.
There's a lot of pads around there.
Colesey's not got his pads on yet. He probably doesn't know where he's batting, mate.
Gone for the beard there, hasn't he? Lovely shot. Good aggressive intent from Joe Denley. As soon as he came down, Tom Bailey probably felt he had to drag it down.
Yeah, just showed him early, couple of steps early. That's where you want it, just short, and Denley pulls the ball away hard as well.
Yeah, a lot of players now will come down with the bat raised higher, expecting the bowler to react in that manner. Matt Hayden, when I was playing, always used to say to me, he used to come down the pitch with the bat ready for the pull shot because he knew that the bowler would just drag it down. Good. I think he happy to get it down to third man. It's a good start, this, from Joe Denley.
Yeah, that's all you want. You've got Beldrum 1 off 4, but it's not a problem, that, because Denley at the other end is going, he's the one prepared to take the risk. Beldrum just keeps on playing.
Wants 2, but have to settle for 1. Another good over, though. 9 runs from it. 2 gone, 17 without loss. So just 1 over from the captain. Change to Carl Jarvis, who's having an excellent championship season. Oh, and a little bit of nip, I think, off the surface. Excellent length.
Yeah, up the slope as well. Just jumps in close. He's really tough because he jumps in close to the stumps and he's always attacking them. Really a swing bowler, just nips the ball both ways, makes it really tough.
Yeah, he's not going to hang around for too long, and that's good from Daniel Bell-Drummond. When you've got a bowler who's bowled well in championship cricket and is confident and wants to hit that length that's just moving around, it's not a bad idea just to get down the pitch, try and mess his length up.
Yeah, you generally work on the theory, don't you, that every bowler just wants to live on a good length, even in 2020, and it's for you to make them change that, especially if they see the first ball just deck around a bit off the seam.
More seam movement. Quite an abrasive surface, isn't it? A little bit dry on top, as we've said, so maybe a bit of early seam movement.
I actually reckon these power plays will be crucial, more so for the batting team, because it will be almost the best team to bat. Yes, we're seeing a little bit of seam movement, but then you're going to get into this passage of play in the middle where you're going to feel it's not quite coming onto the bat. There's a bit of turn. Bowlers bowling lots of change-ups.
It's good work. It is good work. Just be one. Didn't quite find the middle of the bat this time.
No, right on the toe end. Gave himself room, almost gave himself a bit too much room.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes. Brilliant shot down the ground. Right idea from Bell-Drummond.
Yeah, that'll settle his nerves as well. He goes to 7 from 8 balls. Always get your first boundary in a game like this. That's what you want. And he smoked it straight out of the middle of the bat. Was dead still when the ball came to him. Took a couple of steps, but he was still at the crucial time when he wanted to hit the ball. And then he went through with it.
A good comeback. Decent over. Good start for Jarvis. 6 from it. 23 without loss. Having played in these games, quarterfinals and semis and finals, you almost have to tell yourself, don't you, to be true to yourself. Do what you've done, and also you need the backing of the management to encourage you to do it in a big game. It's obviously what they've got here. How were the guys? They okay in the dressing room before the game?
Yeah, usual stuff. They're just watching a bit of telly and guys were coming out. They get here quite early. You always get here early for a 2020 game. People are having nets from probably about 11:30, 12 o'clock onwards, and then we sat down and watched our final, actually. It was quite handy from Sky to whack on the highlights of our 2007 game.
Just for you, Rob. That's all it was.
It actually just opens up a world of abuse for me, actually.
Faulkner then into the attack. You can be fairly certain that unless things get away from Lancashire, that he'll bowl at the end of the innings. So it'll just be really how many overs the captain feels he wants to use Faulkner in these first few overs. Where's Denley? Where's Joe Denley with his cricket at the moment? You go back a few years, he was opening the batting for England in one-day cricket. He's made the move back to Kent. He's back playing somewhere near his best?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he had a tough time at middle. Started well and then I think found himself in and out of the team by the end. Come back. I actually like him opening the batting or batting in the top order, whereas Middlesex was fine. Or batted in the middle order in championship cricket. Didn't get as much of a go in one-day cricket at the top, which is his best way. So he's come here, he's played really well in this. He's been a brilliant partnership for Bell Drummond as the senior man. He's often helped Daniel Bell Drummond. As you see, just Denley's knock so far, going quicker than Bell Drummond, has allowed Daniel Bell Drummond just to get himself in and play, which suits his game. So Joe's taken on that senior batter role really well. I think all of us have been pretty ordinary at times, with the exception of possibly Denley and North East in the 4-day game. We're having a pretty average year in that, to say the least. But Joe, if anyone, along with Sam, has been the standout batters. Just needs to get to that point now, as you know, when you want to be a 70, 80, 90 man in 4-day cricket, or 150, 200.
Looking shot, but just 2 runs from the over, 25 without loss. Showing his experience there for James Faulkner, just 2 runs, making sure he's no width, no half volleys. So Jarvis to continue. Wild swing this time from Bell Drummond.
Yeah, you think this is the over, that something's going to happen. Either Kent are going to really fly out of the traps again, and after a tight over from Faulkner, getting towards the back end of the power play now. This is where you look to cash in. Bell Drummond showing there that his intent. Something's going to happen.
Gone up. Has he found the gap? No, he hasn't. Good catch running back. Very good back catch. I think it's Carl Brown. He didn't get the middle of the bat by any means, but that's a good catch. And it's an early breakthrough for Carl Jarvis.
Yeah, good bowling from Carl Jarvis. He backs up the Faulkner over really well. But the pressure on Daniel Bell Drummond and Kent. Daniel Bell Drummond comes down for a big hack at the ball in the end, and ends up being a good catch. Never easy when it's over your shoulder. He had Davies running in at him as well, but takes it comfortably. Jarvis gets the breakthrough. Daniel Bell Drummond, he goes for 8, 25 for 1.
Brings to the crease the captain, Sam Northeast. I said earlier, it was very keen to have a bat first. He has that opportunity now, and he's had an outstanding blast. Lots of big scores. He has 100 to his name against Somerset down at Taunton on just 58 deliveries. Scores of 49 and 38 in his last 2 games. Really special occasion for Sam Northeast, leading his side at home in a quarter-final. Edged and gone, yes, another good catch, this time Josh Butler. And it's Joe Denley who has to go. He's looked pretty good, but he's been caught out. Again, it's Carl Jarvis.
Yeah, brilliant from Jarvis, right on a length, and a little bit of seam movement as well. He's got a couple to come back. This one goes down the slope, close to the stumps again, great length. Denley pushes at the ball moves off the seam. Butler takes a good catch. 2 in 2 for Lancashire. Denley, he goes for 15, 25 for 2.
Sam Billings, he has a smile on his face, but he knows he's got some work to do now, along with his captain. Two fresh faces at the crease. And just one or two problems now for Kent. Excellent from Jarvis, who was just happy to hit the length, get a little bit of movement. So on a hat-trick, how will Sam Billings play this? Extra catcher in, slip now for Billings. Went a long way across.
Wide as a hat-trick ball.
You see what he's trying to do, though? He's trying to go for the pads, I think. Right, Sam Billings. We talked him up in our build-up. Oh, I think that would have been pretty close. Sam Northeast without a dive, almost cantering in, but a direct hit that might well have been very close. Oh, Brown in the thick of the action.
Yeah, I thought Northeast looked like he was struggling, really, but I don't know. If he wasn't in there, then that was appalling running in of the bat. Do you not remember, like, under 10s, how they do to ground the bat?
Been in the garden.
He went to Harrow as well. What's he doing? Ground your bat.
You'll have to have a word with him, mate, after this. Anyway, still in.
Do you know who we think he looks like?
Yeah, don't go there, Keezy. What? With or without the mullet?
Yeah, we think Sam Northeast and Nick Knight, not just in the way they look, but just his mannerisms. Now I've done a little bit of this for you. You two are so similar.
Oh, don't say any more. Leave it there, Keezy.
He's had some terrible lids as well.
Excellent. Really good from Jarvis. 2 runs from the over, but more importantly, 2 wickets. 27 for 2. I think we can get down and speak to our insider, Carl Brown. Carl, well done. You've been in the thick of it there, mate.
Yeah, I've been busy the last couple of overs.
What do you reckon then? You needed a couple early breakthroughs?
Yeah, they looked to come hard up front, I think, and 2 great wickets there, but I think 2 key wickets here as well.
Happy enough? I mean, your captain wanted to have a bowl first. What do you make of conditions?
I think the wicket looks quite slow, but so the score might not be as high as we first thought, but he's still got to bowl well.
Decision from Stephen to bowl first. Is that partly because it's a quarter-final, you're not quite sure what a good score is away from home or not?
I think so, to be honest, yeah, and with the weather that's been about the last couple of days, I think we just wanted to have a look at the wicket first.
OK, well, are you getting any stick there, or are they quiet behind you?
Fairly quiet, to be honest.
Oh, OK. Oh, it's an absolute beauty again.
Good enough. First up to Billings. It's the problem with Faulkner. You're not sure what's going to come. It could come down at 60 mile an hour, 70 mile an hour, 80 mile an hour. Straight seam, scramble seam, back of the hand. Just his reputation alone makes him hard work.
Timing of the wickets as well, Rob, isn't it? 6 overs of the power play overs, and because they've just lost a couple of wickets, try and perhaps go in this last over of the power play, but they'll feel probably they need to just rebuild a little bit here. This is Bell Drummond. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get it up and over mid-off, just slices away. Carl Brown there. Good catch.
Yeah, you just got that feeling, didn't you? Just the Faulkner's over. Actually, it's often you don't get the credit as a bowler for getting the wicket, even though you don't get the wicket. But the over that Faulkner bowled put so much pressure on this over that Kent were really going to look to have a go at it to try and catch up from the over that they didn't do against Faulkner. If that sounds anywhere near not complicated.
Do you know what I thought he did well, Faulkner, was not fall in the trap that we were talking earlier. When you come down the pitch, you didn't drag it down, just hit the pitch on a length. That way you couldn't get the ball away.
You almost get the feeling, some bowlers they don't watch, do they? Where you almost get the feeling that he's able to watch the batsman. So when he sees you coming down, and he's so good at just knowing what to do. Like you say, when someone walks down, we saw it when Bell Drummond came down early, or Denley came down early to Bailey. He saw him walk at him, so Bailey bowled it short, thinking, well, I'm just going to try and hurry you up here. But actually, that's exactly where you want it. Someone like Faulkner knows exactly where to put the ball after seeing the batsman try and move.
Should be one, yeah. Good running. We'll need just to get this partnership back up and running. The other thing I felt when I played, and I feel watching now, if a batsman runs at you as a bowler, and Yasser Arafat, I think, is excellent at this. It's just bowling slur balls into the pitch. That way, as a batsman, you're looking for pace off the pitch and out of the hand. And it's just not there. That way, often you mistime the ball.
Especially because you're coming down thinking that you're just taking a punt on the pace being on it.
Won't go for a boundary. It's another excellent over from James Faulkner. Lancashire just getting on top here. I think they'll be pretty pleased with the first 6 overs. 32 for 2.
Yeah, well below where they would have wanted to be, Ken. The power play here, you're looking around 55, something like that. Denley started well, showed real promise in a couple of shots, but really it was the over from Carl Jarvis that really got him going. Daniel Bell-Drummond has a lovely shot there, and that would have settled the nerves, but this was the moment. 2 in 2 from Jarvis, who took the power play Lancashire's way. Good catch as well from Carl Brown, and then very next ball a good seed from Jarvis just to get Denley out with a regulation nick, really.
Stephen Croft has decided that he's just going to hold back a couple of overs of Carl Jarvis. So he goes to Tom Bailey, who's bowled 1 over and for 8. A little bit more cover now, just 4 in the circle.
And Ken have to just work out. Actually, it's not a great pitch. It looks pretty slow. We've seen a bit of movement. It's not going to be easy now with the field out. Get a tell on the power play. Batsmen were having to use their feet. They weren't just able to stand and deliver, so they're going to have to readjust what they think is a good score. We say 180, but actually, well, maybe just play for 150, see if we get somewhere around there. Hope that's enough. There's certainly enough to bowl with. There you go, another sign when you just sort of chop the ball down onto the ground that it's not quite coming on. It's got to constantly readjust now. It's going to take a bit of an ugly knock, something where you don't feel great, where you don't think the ball's coming on, and you don't think, oh, I'm playing at my most fluent, but you're doing a good job to get your side up to a competitive score.
Batting index extraordinary, isn't it? 205 combination there. If you're good at your maths between your batting average and your strike rate.
So when Matt Walker came in last year, it was at Kent, he spoke at Essex. They always talk about BASRAs, batting average and strike rate, said at the start. And it was massive for me, really, just thinking, well, that's where you have to be. As a time as a batter, you're quite happy if you average and you're averaging 30 or something like that. As he's tucking into
it's an unusual sight, that, isn't it? He'll be thinking it was a bit unlucky that the cameras came to him at that point, but we can go back another time and we'll still see the same picture. Sorry, Matt.
Oh, I'm not saying anything. Stop eating.
That's it, mate. Get him in. You just dropped one.
He's going to blame me for that now. He's going to think I've teed him up for that. I'm not going to hear the end of that. Me as well, of all people, doing that.
Clever batting. Has he found the boundary? Yes, he has. Time well enough.
Yeah, the crowd come to life with that boundary. Heard a great deal from him for the last couple of overs, but North East does well to wait here for the ball. Uses his wrists and beats deep cover.
Short pulled away, another boundary. Excellent finish to the over. Just beginning to motor now, North East. 43 for 2. Lancashire, I think, will be the happier of the two sides, but a couple of boundaries for North East just to get things going with this partnership, 18 from 16. And we have a change now up here. Nick Compton is with Ian Ward.
Thank you very much, Nick. Yeah, Kent need to get going. That helped in the last over. Faulkner has been superb so far for Lancashire, and now we've got a bit of spin from Parry, who has 18 wickets in the competition this year. And this could be a key part of the game. How will Kent go about playing Parry? What can Parry come up with? Place off the ball. You're turning the ball up the slope. That's certainly where the batsmen are going to target. You get it running down that hill, no one stops it.
Talk about a key part of the game, Wardy, and this is what Billings does best. He sweeps as well as anyone in the game, and he also uses his feet really well. So you can expect a lot of this hard sweeping, but also coming down, trying to get offside of the ball and working into the gap in the wicket. There is a short boundary there.
Sweeps the other side, but doesn't beat short third man. Slight fumble, but no damage done. So all of a sudden, or straight away, Parry is under a bit of pressure. Saw Sam Billings give Nick Knight a demo on how to sweep. That was more the seamers, but as you say, Nick, very good at the shot. No field change. Oh, Lord. Well, Billings looks across at square leg umpire. And Nick Cook signals to Michael Goff that was above waist height. No ball.
Nick Cook is almost looking at the umpire going, oh, you haven't chosen me, have you? I don't know.
A little bit going on there, I think. Something along the lines Butler saying, you worry about your batting and let the umpires umpire, as Billings gesticulates, but I think he's within his right.
It's not like Sam Billings
Still going
to have a
on.
word, is it? Anyway, we've had an early look at the full array of shots from Sam Billings. 2 reverse sweeps, 1 hard sweep. What's next?
Nicely bowled, a long way down the pitch. Initially, the umpire signalled a free hit. Not in this competition for height. Anyway, North East on strike. Will be a field change now. Parry wants a little bit more protection on the leg side, so down the slope. Maybe you can just tighten his line a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. I'd rather the batsman early on play a reverse sweep, which is a lot higher risk than coming in and nudging and knurling to the leg side. I'd expect a lot more of that from Sam North East. I think he's the type of guy that wants to try and get into the latter stages of the game, really try and build a score. And you know, I'm sure Sam Billings will be the aggressor in this partnership. We've already seen a couple of audacious strokes, but let's hope he connects with a few.
Well, 8 runs from the over so far. Yeah, the crowd really haven't got into it yet. They tend to do that when Kent are doing well. A couple of Lancashire supporters have tweeted me saying they're stuck on the M2 or something. They're trying to get it. Bit of traffic just outside Canterbury. But a good crowd in. We saw the batsman coming very quickly, very early. Dragged it back, but a good over for Kent. 10 from it, 53 for 2, 8 gone.
Yeah, I think looking at the way that these two Kent batsmen are going to try and rebuild, it's always difficult when you bat first, because you know, in the back of your mind you're wondering, you know, what's a good score. You know, they had an okay start. Joe Denley obviously played very positively, and we've seen a little bit from, you know, North East, who's been in great form, as well as Sam Billings, but very difficult to get the pace right. You know, they're going to have to, you know, go some at some stage, and I think there's no doubt that I think Sam Billings is going to target these spinners. It's what he does best, and watch how well he uses his feet. Played him last week, and he was exceptional.
It looks like Aaron Lilly is into the attack from the pavilion end here at Canterbury. With his off breaks, it's a spin at both ends, and let's see exactly how North East and Billings go about their work. They'll be communicating at at every opportunity about good scores and targets and when to go. You've got a little bit more time in 2020 than you think, haven't you, as a batting side? Oh, if he's not hit it, that's got to be close. Yes, gone.
Good start early on. Sam Northeast will be bitterly disappointed with that. He's played across the line early on, probably not short enough. He probably wanted to have a little look at that, maybe just tick over a couple of singles before he's played this big shot.
I'm not sure if he's disappointed with the shot or the decision. Did he get any bat involved? If he didn't, he was plumb. Doesn't really tell us if there was any wood involved. Nick Cook certainly didn't think there was. Had a think and then pointed straight at him. You're out. Northeast conveys something to the new batsman. He's gone for 14, 53 for 3.
It's a big loss for Ken. Sam Northeast being their leading run scorer. I think it's a really disappointing Exeter. Sam Billings and Northeast just getting themselves going. But in comes the man of the big occasion, Darren Stevens, and what a player he's been for Ken. He really is the experience in the side and a man that you want to give as much time to as possible. These two, if they can get going, could be very exciting.
He can give himself a little time, the 39-year-old Darren Stevens. Old back must be a bit stiff. Nice warm day, he's got a sweater on.
How does he keep going?
With all the bowling he does now. Batting index 167, that's strike rate plus average.
Yep.
We'll need him to fire, someone to just grab this game, because Lancashire is squeezing and squeezing well.
Yeah, if he's not scoring runs, he'll be opening the bowling a bit later, I'm sure. Changing his pace.
We'll change of field for the new batsman as Stevens meticulously takes guard. Long off has come up into the circle, so got a mid-off, an extra cover. Short sort of gully line third man, short mid-wicket and fine leg up. Stevens is away.
Yeah, I think Darren's definitely going to try and give himself a chance here, but there's always let's have a look at that dismissal again. Sam Billings trying to go deep in the crease. The ball's just sort of skidded on and hurried him a little bit. I think it almost took him by surprise at how quickly that came on. I wouldn't have expected him to have missed that, but I don't think that was going anywhere else than hitting the stumps there.
Well, his body language was sort of implying that perhaps he got a little edge on it, but certainly no evidence from the angles we've seen so far that that was the case.
Yeah, good field here. Just a change. They've brought the mid-wicket in, which you presume that's where Sam's going to look to play, but us...
Oh! Yep.
He's got away with that. That's really nicely bowled, though, by Lilly, because he saw him coming, threw it out a little bit wide, a little bit quicker, and there was just a hint of grip up the slope.
That's what we've been looking for. Just one. It's quite sharply bowled. It's a very good line, very attacking line. I thought Sam Billings might bring out the reverse sweep there. They brought the man over to mid-wicket, and what he likes to do is normally play with the field.
A little bit slower, 5 miles an hour slower, that one, so Lilly is varying his pace well, and he's only bowled 4 balls, but keeping his eye closely on what the batsmen are doing.
Come on. Straight at these stumps, come on.
Need a boundary.
Fumble from Butler will allow them through for a bye.
Excellent, Lil.
Yeah, Ian, I think this is where the game can be very difficult and where 2020 and teams can really capitalise is this middle period. 2 spinners on, wicket looks like it's quite slow, there's a little bit of turn, new batsman in.
Firmly struck straight at extra cover, 57 for 3.
Buzzer.
7,000 sellout now here at Canterbury, so those Lancashire supporters stuck on the M2 evidently have made it. Well bowled. Well, Lilly was firing them in at well, pretty quickly. Parry has taken that, all the pace off that.
It's quite risky. He's bowled that incredibly slowly. Quite risky with a short boundary. I don't think he wants to bowl too many of those. Someone like Sam Billings will inevitably play that big slog sweep or sweep that he has.
Full toss, one-handed from Stevens, hasn't quite got all of it. Oh, outstanding! That is as good as you will ever see.
This is quite phenomenal. Lilly has just bowled a really good over. He's come down to the square leg boundary. I think it's more the cow corner boundary, and he's taken an absolute screamer.
Well, the umpires are now just conferring to see if that was a no ball. Parry'd already bowled one earlier to Billings, and they are going to check the no ball for waist high, I think.
We've seen a few of these, but this is up there.
They're also going to perhaps check whether there was any contact with the boundary when the catch was being taken place. No problem with the front foot no ball. So are they looking at the... No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So here comes the catch. Let's rid. Oh, I think that's fine, isn't it? Brown comes round and tidies up. There's no problem there. So it's just with Aaron Lilly and whether he let go of the ball before his foot just touched the boundary rope. Boundary sponsorship triangles now.
What?
Oh, his foot does touch it. It's just whether or not he's let go of the ball before his right foot has touched that sponsorship barrier. So ball is in the hand now. Brilliant athleticism. Looks for his mate. Let's go. He's absolutely fine. Timed it to perfection. Brilliant. Well, what a shame we had to go through all of that, because the moment was really lost. That was so spectacular. Fully understand why the umpires want to get the decision absolutely right. Technology's available to provide some clarity, but just took a little bit of the wind out of that, because that is as good as you will ever see.
You can practice that as much as you like, and trust me, the guys do practice that nowadays, but until you actually get one on the boundary, you know, leaping like that, not knowing where the boundary is, absolutely brilliant. What a catch, and this is what this competition's all about, particularly in this quarter-final. I think it's really brought things to life, not for Kent, of course, but Lancashire really in the ascendancy now, and they need something special from one of these two.
Full speed. This is how quickly it happened. Stevens hit it one-handed, didn't get it. Lilly, oh yes, the athleticism, the awareness of where he was, where his mate was, the timing of the release of the ball. He didn't lob it straight at his mate. He gave him time to catch it gently up in the air. And then it, in the end, was a simple catch for Brown. Quite outstanding. Astonishing. In the midst of all that, that's a big wicket. Darren Stevens gone for 2 off 4 balls. Kent 58 for 4 after 9 overs and 2 balls. And those Lancashire supporters that were a little bit late will be smiling now. Well, they're going to settle for 1. They don't need a run out now, that's for sure. Alex Blake is the new batsman. Very talented young cricketer. 26 years of age.
Alex Blake's really impressed me. He's time and time again he's coming with his team in trouble, particularly chasing innings, and he's scored way ahead of a runner ball, and he's been really destructive. He's a very clean hitter, and he's going to have to be tonight. But just a little word on Darren. Sometimes it's difficult when you come in, you're looking to rebuild, and you get a really poor delivery like that.
He's away first ball with a prod up the ground.
One more, lads. We get this one out.
Yeah, someone's going to have to play a really important knock here. It's going to have to be one of these two.
Well, just looking at what he's done in the competition, he's got on with it. 59 not out of 24, 52 off 32, 49 off 25. So Blake can... down to our Sky Insider, because Carl Brown was on the receiving end. You had the best seat in the house for that. What was that like? Special.
How good is that? That was unbelievable.
I know you guys practice it, but did you think he was going to make it?
To be honest, I thought it just sneaked over his head, but it got. I don't know how he's done that, to be honest.
Well, the other thing is he lobbed it ever so gently to make your life easier.
I know, yeah, I didn't have much to do, did I?
That goes down in the book as caught brown bowl parry. That's an injustice. You're in a fantastic position though here, aren't you?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, he's caught some good ones this year, but that is unbelievable. Oh!
He'll be telling everyone about that in the dressing room on the coach on the way home, won't he?
I'm sure he will, yeah.
Leave you there, mate.
Thanks, cheers.
That's Lilly now with ball. Oh, he might have another one. Has he got another one? Nick Cook thinks so. Blake has now gone for 2, and Kent are falling apart.
Those cross-bat shots, we always talk about them. Another slider, a little bit quicker. Jimmy Adams looks really, really disappointed. He's probably had all the team talks, hit the ball down the ground. This one's darted in again, and Alex Blake has played all around it. A ball that he'd probably hit 9 out of 10 times, either for 1 or 4. And Lilly's having a great game, isn't he?
I can't be watching the ball. They're missing straight ones straight across in front of his pad. Oh dear, oh dear. Blake gone for 2, 62 for 5. And there are still 9 overs and 4 balls remaining in the innings.
Well, I spoke about Alex Blake earlier on in the pre-match show, and just spoke about what a revelation he's been for Kent and how he's done so well to get them where they are. And that's a really big blow. Sam Billings now talking to his new partner, which is Fabian Cowdrey, I think it is, and there's not much to say really. I guess someone's going to have to really knuckle down here, and Sam Billings is going to have to play out of his skin.
Play straight might be part of the advice coming to young Fabian Cowdrey, and we saw Joe Denley get the innings off to a good start by doing exactly that. Cowdrey is away. Should only be 1. Well, they've got to come up with a different plan now. They've got to find something, anything, to just give their bowlers a sniff of a chance. He's in no sort of position to play that on the leg side. It's not a sweep, it's not a pull.
No hesitation from Nick Cook. Pretty easy. Blake was just hoping he got away with it.
Everything Kent are trying at the moment is coming up just that little bit short. This is good bowling. He really is varying his pace nicely. He's been up to 60 odd miles an hour nearly. That was down to 52.
Yeah, I think if you're Sam Billings now, it's difficult. In your head, you don't want to get the run rate down too much, but at the same time, you know that you've got to be there at the end to give yourself a chance.
Another one whipped across in front of the pad. 65 for 5, 11 gone. Well, Lancashire are dominating this quarter-final here at Canterbury. The home side are 65 for 5. Some good batting to start with from Joe Denley. And Jarvis initially, and then the spin has really dragged them back. That'll help. That's a nice shot up the slope, off the back foot through extra cover.
Great shot from Fabian Cowdrey, and that's the kind of intent we're talking about. He's just come to the crease, 6 off 3. And that's where you want to be looking to hit these balls. A little bit short, not playing across the line, but getting across and hammering it through the offside. Strong cricket shots.
Oh!
As I say that.
Sweep, reverse sweep, come down the pitch. He was trying to put Parry off. Parry was having none of it.
He's very just paced nicely, Parry, hasn't he? He's not been afraid to just toss it up a little bit slower.
That's another one of those shots, and these Kent batsmen, this time it's got the bat on it.
Almost trick 45 there. 45 was going the other way, and he's got that even finer. want to be hitting that ball. He's got a cross. He's almost trying to hit it too square. You know, much better off trying to hit that in the gap. I know it's tough. They've got to try and rebuild, so you're not trying to take too many risks, but...
Change of field, one more on the offside. And that's exactly where he was taken from, pretty much, mid-wicket. Nothing Faulkner can do about that as he runs past the tree.
Yeah, it's a great shot from Sam Billings. And this is how well Sam uses his feet. It's not all about the sweeps. Watch how quickly he gets down the pitch. And it's a very strong shot down the hill. And as Rob said earlier, if you get that ball going down the hill, you've got 4 runs there. And that's more type of shots that need to be played now. Let's see Sam Billings if he can get going.
Well fielded. That patron in the crowd was giving Mr. Faulkner some stick.
Good intent from Sam, but I'm not sure you're going to get a huge amount of reward. You've got 2 men there already. I'd much rather he sort of played those straight batted shots for now and then opened up a bit later on.
Well, 10 runs from that over, 75 for 5. Billings is up to 20. So 8 overs to go. Kent have got to fashion something to give their bowlers a hint of a chance. Good crowd, sold out. 7 or so thousand in.
This wicket, boys.
Fancy they'll need more than 125, which is what they're heading for at this current rate. Lilly continues into his 3rd over. 7 dots, 2 wickets for 6 runs. Been outstanding and a quite brilliant catch to boot. Oh, he's got that. That has gone a long way. Billings has found the middle of the bat and he's found a maximum.
Been looking for that for a while. He's just got one in the slot, and Sam Billings playing one of his favourite shots right in the slot, and he's given that a good club straight over cow corner, and what a good shot that is. They're going to need a few more of those. I think Sam Billings is just getting himself going now. Played a good shot in the over before, but that one there is the best one he's played so far. Real stroke of authority, and he liked it a lot, didn't he?
He knew, didn't he? He knew. As soon as it made contact with the blade, it was in the middle of the bat. Rise the sweep. Pick up just a single as Parry scampers after it. Adam Gilchrist said that to me. He said one of the things about batting and when you are hitting it as well as he used to, and what Billings did just a moment ago, is just for a split second you're the only one in the ground that knows you've absolutely nailed it, and then everyone else obviously joins in.
Good shot from Fabian Cowdrey. It's important that he keeps the board ticking over and gets Sam Billings back on strike. Have another look at this shot. Really got underneath it well. Didn't try and hit it too square. Still looked to hit it towards mid-on with a bit of turn. He brought it right round and got the maximum. That's the key to playing spin here today.
Bowling though from Lilly as Billings was racing down the pitch.
Thought we might see a bit more turn. There hasn't been a huge amount of turn. I think most of the wickets have been deliveries that have gone on straight with the arm.
.84 for 5. 13 overs have been bowled. Sam Billings is unbeaten on 27. Fabian Cowdrey is 8. Lot resting on the shoulders of Billings to get Kent something to defend. Current run rate would only take them to 129. If they can push it up to 8 runs and over from here on in, get them to 140. Butler calls with his gloves. People clear out the way. Simple catch. Is that the end of Kent's hopes of really challenging Lancashire here today at Canterbury?
Oh, sorry, Parry's bowled this really well again. Slower delivery. He's not been afraid to toss it up, and I think Sam Billings, I fear, has just got through it a little bit early and he's got straight underneath that. Previous over, he clubbed one over a square leg, but this one just got under too much, and Joss Buttler doesn't make a mistake like that. Spinners are just getting hold of the game here, aren't they? And they seem to be bowling with good pace, good variation. And I almost feel that that is probably, Kent's best hopes of getting a big total.
Runner ball 27 for Billings, but he's gone. 84 for 6. Both spinners have picked up a couple of wickets. Ashley Giles is, of course, Lancashire's head coach, and he's in the dugout with a headset on. Love it when a plan comes together. Is that how you're thinking at the moment?
Yeah, it's quite nice at the moment. Glad to see the back of Billings, to be honest.
Spin playing a key part.
Yeah, we looked at the wicket, and sides have tended to bat here, I think, on the whole. But we thought it was a little bit tacky on top, the weather that's been around here. And on that tackiness, we thought it might grip a little bit. But Lily's had a great day so far. Paz not had his best day. He'd be helpful if he used the facilities. But that's a golden wicket. I think Crofty was looking at possibly bowling himself and taking Paz off. So it's a bit of a masterstroke to keep him on.
Well, the spinners have bowled well, but perhaps its turning point was Faulkner's first over, then backed up by Kyle Jarvis in his second over.
Yeah. We talked about holding those two back. They've been our best seamers really in the T20 competition, and holding them back for those important overs, 4, 5, 6, or 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, Jarvis did really well. When you get back-to-back wickets, it just stops the scoring.
Just a final word, if I may, Ash, about that catch. I mean, I know you guys practice it, so as coaches you put them through the drills, but that was stunning, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. And those sort of moments can change games. Lil practices extremely hard his fielding. He loves it. He calls himself the big show. He loves those moments out on the boundary. Often will pick up those sort of catches. Looks like another one here.
Well, there is another catch, but this one is far, far simpler. Alex Davis, with a safe pair of hands, turns and acknowledges the crowd behind him. And Kenner 86 for 7 and absolutely disintegrating. Parry has his third wicket.
Yeah, they're just falling apart at the moment. Again, the spinner bringing the demise. Coles, he's only just come in. Perhaps could have waited a couple more balls, but it was in the slot. He just hasn't really got hold of it, and a very comfortable catch at mid-on. Making no mistake there. I think it's going to be really tough now to get those scores. I think 120 now is going to have to be their focus. 120, 130. Someone's going to have to get some runs, and unfortunately for Ken, it doesn't look like a big enough total.
Well, Coles went for the long handle route, dismissed for 1 second ball, so 86 for 7. And James Treadwell will come out to join Fabian Cowdery and try and fashion something towards the end of this innings. Plenty of time still to go. 6 overs and 2 balls, which is an eternity in 2020. Treadwell will know exactly what's required. Just try and keep Cowdery company. Pinch a few when he can and hit at the end. Well, that helps. That's a poor ball.
Well, it's one that they've been waiting for. I just wonder if it's a little bit too late. It's a nice shot from Fabian. Shame that some of the earlier batsmen didn't get a few of those. But you never know. Fabian looks like he started very well here. He's been very positive. He's better feet. He's got a better position there. You saw some of the batsmen earlier on missing those. But Fabian's got himself, he's had quick feet and got himself into a good position.
91 for 7. It's the end of Parry. 3 for 31. 14 overs are gone. So 6 overs remaining. What can Kent possibly get to? Parry is bowled out. 3 for 31. Lilly has 2 for 14. So it looks like he's out of the attack. So there's a change at the pavilion end. Change up here, Rob Kearnick.
Thanks, Ian. Captain back into the attack. Little misunderstanding, but all's well. Now, Rob Key, what's happened? Explain all.
It's 92 for 7.
We need more.
It looks like actually one of those where when you get on a team, a pitch like this, where it's not a bad pitch at all, but you just have to readjust. If you're used to getting 180, look at the horse go. If you're used to getting 180, but then you have to just readjust. You don't get the start you want. You say, well, just play for a bit. Try and get up to 150. Don't go for these. It might not be a sort of pitch or the bowling where we can go hard against the spin. Sometimes spinners are allowed to bowl well on a pitch that helps them a little bit, albeit we haven't seen a lot of spin. So you go, well, that's fine. You're allowed to bowl well, but then we'll set it up for the back end. Unfortunately, we played some ordinary shots and taken some ordinary options and potentially a run out, but Fabian claps Treadwell for saying well done for sending me back.
I'm going to take the side of your boys here a little bit. I mean, is that what we can expect from time to time with a young set of lads, an inexperienced group? I mean, Darren Stevens will be disappointed his ball didn't go for 6. It should have done. But apart from that, you've got essentially a very talented but youthful group. Afraid from time to time you're going to get that, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. But I tell you what, as well, we got to. It's not over yet. Well, we're 95 for 7. Got to try and get to 120, 130. Fabian's doing a really good job. Fabian Cowdrey, 16 off 12, and just somehow hope you've got the bowl. We've got bowl and attack to defend anything, really. Obviously within reason. Not over yet. You've got to get up to a competitive score.
That will help.
You never know until both sides have bowled on it. Sometimes I always think just because you're young, can't always use that as an excuse. Yes, it will happen, and they'll be better for it, but just scrap up to 130, 99 for 7.
Yeah, that's it. Let's not say this game is over by any means. You look down that batting lineup and you see Treble in now. Treble should enjoy bowling in these conditions. Bit of Cowdrey as well with his slingy left armers. Darren Stevens, pace off the ball. So they'll have a bowling lineup that can potentially exploit the conditions here. Saw Fabian's dad earlier. Chris is wandering around. He's somewhere on the ground. Looks really well. Quite nervous, I think, about Fabian and making a contribution today. I'll be pretty pleased at the moment.
Yeah, sort of rest with Fabian Cowdrey to get us up to, or get Kent up to a decent score. Something you just feel you can go into the dressing room, Sam North East, to be able to say, right, it's under par, it's not what we expected, but we've got the bowling attack to defend this.
Yeah, and when we were on earlier, it's exactly what he said to me at the toss. Quarter-final, want to have a bat first. He didn't win the toss, but put pressure on the opposition. A lot of players just moving around at the moment, trying to find. He only has to have 4 in the circle. He had 6 a moment ago, so they're all just moving into position. $100 up. Cheers from the crowd. They're a pretty partisan group here, aren't they, your lot?
Yeah, they're our 12th man. What are we talking about, Delia and Norwich? They're our 12th man.
Said that quietly. We've got to try and get out later on, haven't we? Out the car park here, so they're doing all right, the crowd here. They're great. We love you. Lovely shot from James Treble. He was England captain, wasn't he? James Treble. Remember that a couple of years ago up at the Oval?
Maybe that quiz question, wouldn't it? Who was the one person to captain England for what?
1 ball or 2 balls? I can't remember. Why, it wasn't many.
Well, the only undefeated captain of England.
Yeah. Now that takes us back. 2008 final, I think.
That was ours. That was Kent Middlesex.
Yeah.
That's when that kid was dancing.
Yeah.
And O.A. Shah said it was like a young Rob Key.
Rob Key School of Dancing. Slashed away. Good work in the deep. Just can't quite find the boundary, James Treadwell.
James Treadwell wanted to, Cowdrey didn't. Another slow out of the surface, gets it right in front of square. Don't have to worry too much, the Spitfire sweetheart. That wasn't coming too hard at you, I wouldn't think, as you flinch in there.
Good fielding, in close, looks sharp today. Lancashire 4 from the over, 103 for 7.
There they go. They're flicking into the crowd. T-shirts or...
We could do with a couple of them, couldn't we? They're free, aren't they? Yeah, who's going to go and grab one of those?
Sam doesn't look too happy, Sam Northeast, but these are great days to be a captain because you can really, you've got no option, you have to attack, you can be clever. There's a bit there, you've got a trump card in James Treadwell, use him as an attacking option.
Oh.
Days where a captain can have a real effect on the field inside, on the match, where you get an under-par score and it's the little gambles you take along the way that get you home. Don't just go for a straightforward field, keep men up at times, put the batsman under pressure.
Will he do that? Is he that sort of captain?
Yeah, I tell you, he's certainly got the brain to do it if he'll work it out. It's just a question of, I suppose, whether he thinks it's the right way. I want to see something, just a little bit of turn, then use Treadwell as that real wicket-taking option. The same with someone like Stevens. Keep your sweepers out, but not every single one, and just get as many dot balls in as you can. Sacrifice the odd boundary for a wicket.
Yes.
Finds the gap and will go for 4. Boundaries are not big today.
Not big, but brilliant placement from Treadwell. Just leans back and uses the pace that he's put on the ball all the time, actually. He's generally been right up there as a spinner, pushing the ball through, and Treadwell using that just to get it past the 2 backward points.
Tries again, just 1 this time. Yeah, if they can get up to 140, they might just feel they've got a chance in a quarter-final. Good bowling. Good set of 4 overs for Aaron Lilly. 2 for 21 from his 410 for 7.
Yeah, really good bowling from him. Just the way that he was able to flight the ball and push it through. Did for a couple of the Kent batsmen, almost doing them for length, and got him in a spot of bother. Really good spell of bowling. 110 for 7.
Just earlier we were talking about Sam Northeast and his captaincy. I was driving to the game today, sat on the motor, and I was thinking about 2020 cricket and young captains. In some ways, because of the congested fixture list, some captains or some sides are giving the 2020 cricket to young captains, some like yourself, just having a break from the 2020 just to freshen up for championship. I think in some ways that's the one bonus of the fixture list, that some sides are doing that and giving opportunities for young captains that perhaps wouldn't otherwise get the opportunity. Faulkner back into the attack.
Yep.
That might go for 4. That needs to go for 4 for Kent. Yeah, it does. He can't believe it, but it goes down that hill very quickly. And as I said earlier, not big boundaries here.
No, a similar thing that he did to the spinner, really, just backing away, showing his stumps to Faulkner. Faulkner pushes the ball through, and Treadwell uses that pace again. Wily old fox, James Treadwell, with the bat and ball. Beats the diving parry, a backward point. Umpire cam. Good cameramen, umpires.
White.
Oh, he's unlucky. He's very unlucky. This has to beat extra cover, and that's another boundary.
You gotta fancy a slower ball coming at some stage. Well, we had 2 quicker ones. Yeah, that's the back of a length, quicker ball, you think, or the full pace ball. We haven't seen any change up yet, but
I think that's the length that he's bowled, perhaps better than anybody else. Hitting the pitch just back of a length.
yeah, I suppose we're mid on and mid off up. That gives you a bit of a tell the length that you think he's going to bowl.
Beautiful shot. This time does find the middle of the bat. Treadwell is having some impact now. If they can get another 20 runs, they may just feel they have a chance.
4.6 from Treadwell so far off the very dangerous Faulkner. Nobody's really been able to tuck into him at any stage, but James Treadwell doing it this over. It's all of that to the longest side of the ground.
This time somehow gets it over mid-on and will just go for 4 back-to-back boundaries then for Treadwell.
Yeah, and that brings a change in the field. You can't believe, really, we've not seen the slower ball. He's just gone for the same ball over and over again, and Treadwell's ready for it. There's a little chuckle to himself as he gets it over mid-on.
Yeah, he's leading the charge. Long off now, and a deep mid-wicket. And squirted away somehow. He should come back for 2, will come back for 2. That is an excellent over for Kent and James Treadwell. 16 from it, 2 to go, 126 for 7.
Yeah, a bit of life on the Kent dugout now. Clayton's teeth glowing white. Whitest teeth in county cricket, Mitch Clayton. Hollywood smile he goes for. There we go. 26 off 15, James Treadwell. Fabian Cowdrey playing his part as well. Treadwell really taking to that Faulkner over. Fabian Cowdrey 20 off 18, just holding it up at the other end, doing exactly what's required.
Yeah, clever. Very good. Hind leg is up on the 1. Knows the length that he's going to bowl generally, Jarvis. Excellent from Cowdrey.
44 this partnership now for Kent. Getting them up to somewhere that's going to be competitive. Little paddle ramp shot from Cowdrey, shot he likes to play. That little shot just causes a few problems for captains and bowlers. Changing the field, straight away fine leg goes back, mid-off comes up.
batting again, but not the boundary they want. But Treadwell back on strike, which probably they do want, Kent.
You're okay, you're okay. There's no pressure.
That's good bowling. Just changed up his length. I think because of the fact that Fabian Cowdy had played that ramp shot or that sweep shot to a length ball, I think he's been forced to go Yorker. Yeah, now can Treadwell get back for 2? No, no chance.
Seven now, the partnership. To 145, 150. Treadwell will walk off thinking that's a defendable score. We're in the game. We'll know this surface better than anyone.
Picked up and will go for the boundary. 11 runs from the over, 137 for 7 with an over to go.
Yeah, and the crowd really coming to life with this partnership. 50 partnership up for these two as well. James Treadwell just backing away at times. This time he comes back in towards off stump. Nose fine leg is up on the circle. Square leg's not fine enough and hits it into a good part of the ground where the ball's going to fly away.
Well, he's frustrated, Carl Jarvis, but he has bowled a terrific spell. 2 for 23 from his 4. So he's kept his side very much in it, and it's no surprise that James Faulkner will finish the innings wicketless, but bowled okay. 3 overs, none for 23. Now then, can they get up to 145, 150? Can they get to 150? Back of the hand, slower ball. Probably not a bad thing Treadwell's on strike. He'd love us to say that, wouldn't he? Not a bad thing that Treaders is on strike. I don't reckon he's ever heard that before, but he's heard it now, and he's doing a terrific job. 31 from 17. Come on, Treaders. And out of respect, Faulkner was just taking his time to get the feel right. So we've got a long on and a long off. Both men behind. Square up on the 1. I think that's okay. We might have a look upstairs. Yeah, belated look upstairs. Not a lot of animation from Faulkner and from Butler, but you never know. Worth a look.
Yeah, Cowdrey just sort of looks like he doesn't know if he's in here. Didn't go for the dive. He's just going to be short, I think. Good from Faulkner. When do the bails come off? That's pretty tight. Here we go. This might give us a better angle if you can see the red line. Just short. Tough one though for the third umpire.
Martin Saggers is our third umpire. Now then, Martin, what do you think? I think it's going to be out. is not enough for that bat over the line. Remember, it has to be over the red line. Yeah, he's going to give it out. Shame for Fabian Cowdrey. He's played a little gem of an innings for his team, 27 from 23, but without a dive, that was always going to be close. So he is run out in the end by James Faulkner, 138 for 8.
Yeah, really important knock. Came in with his side in real trouble. All he had to do, had no option really, just to make sure he was there towards the back end. He and Treadwell together have put on over 50 runs, so they've given his side, or he's given his side, a chance so far. Treadwell's got 4 balls to try and make a difference as Mitch Claydon comes to the crease. Can hit a decent cricket ball as well.
There's also good awareness from Faulkner. A lot of bowlers have just given that up. Last over, protect the boundary, it's only 1. Faulkner, no. He says, I'm going to run you out, get someone else in. So Claydon on strike. Has he got lucky there? Yes, he has. Crowd come to life again because it's another boundary. He can't believe his luck.
Yeah, he's given it everything here, Claydon. He's really swung hard at the first ball from Faulkner, which was a slower ball. Momentum just with Ken at the minute. It's amazing what happens when the momentum comes onto your side, and nicks like that don't go to the keeper, they go wide of third man or short of third man and past the keeper and go away for 4. 1-4-2 now, Kent.
Wondered if Treadwell was going to try and take on Josh Buttler.
Actually something from Kent to learn, really. What we saw Faulkner's over where he went short and his full speed at Treadwell, and Treadwell smashed him. 4-6-4. Now he's taken the pace off. Back of the hand, slower balls. It looks much tougher. Yes, he's bowling at Claydon, but it's been tougher for everyone.
And again, back of the hand. Claydon trying to smash it through the offside. He's just too good, James Faulkner. He picks up another wicket, and it's Claydon who has to go for 4 from 3. 142 for 9, but a ball to go.
Yeah, brilliant. Look at this back of the hand slow ball. It almost kicks out of the surface as well. So his arm comes over at the same speed. The ball hits the surface. Obviously a slower ball, but it almost kicks with top spin. Far too good for Mitch Claydon. Really good skill from Faulkner. Claydon, he goes for 4. 142 for 9.
Yeah, he's so good, isn't he, with his variations of length and pace. Only his first wicket, but really difficult to target at the back end of an innings. Man of the match, of course, in the World Cup final. Imagine what that'll do to your confidence levels. Ivan Thomas with 1 ball to try and get his team up to 148, or 146 will do. And again, same delivery, same result. Back of the hand, just sticks a little bit in the surface. And what a finish from Lancashire, and in particular from their star turn, James Faulkner. Perhaps not his best first 3 overs, but a mighty fine last over. So we've still got a game on here. 142 is not the score that Kent would like to have got to. I think they'll probably feel they're 20 or so runs light of par, but they have runs on the board, and Sam Northeast said at the toss, runs on the board in a quarter-final. Lancashire, I think, will be the happier of the 2 sides. James Treadwell has played his part, 31 from 18, but not the significant scores at the top of the order. Bell Drummond 8 today, Denley 15. Sam Northeast, the captain, has had such a wonderful set of games, just 14, 27 and 27 from Cowdrey. Don't underestimate the importance of that innings from Cowdrey and from Treadwell to get them up to 142. Good set of figures here. They've all bowled well. Croft opened up, just 2 overs for him. Bailey did okay as well. Jarvis did exceptionally well for 2 for 23. Faulkner, very good, particularly the last over, picks up a couple of wickets. And Stephen Parry will be very, very pleased with his afternoon's work, 3 for 31, as will Aaron Lilly with that brilliant catch and a couple of wickets as well. So we think this will take a little bit of spin, and perhaps pace off the ball will be crucial. But Lancashire, I think, will be the happier of the two sides. 143 runs to win. Right, time for us to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be with Ian Ward, and we'll reflect on that Kent innings. So it'll be Matt Coles with the new ball up against Ashwell Prince. Ashwell Prince is having an absolutely stunning season in the Championship. He scored runs for fun. So he'll need to get his side off to a good start here. Oh, that's not ideal. Afternoon, Nick.
Afternoon, Nick. Yeah. Very interesting first half, wasn't it? I thought they weren't going to get to 120 at one stage, but, you know, Treaders, we were just talking in the break about he always pulls something out the bag, doesn't he? Unglamorous, but gets the job done.
That's good. That's more like it with a slip in place.
Interesting first couple of deliveries. The first one's just snuck down the leg side, a little bit of in-swing. And the next one's almost just held itself on the seam, and Ashwell Prince almost looking to play that through mid-wicket.
It's a beauty.
Serious
doesn't look like much on, yeah, it doesn't look like a huge amount of movement, but yeah, there's enough there.
Wait there, wait there!
Yeah, Ashwell Prince, as he said, had a really good start to the season. Start to the season, had a very consistent season in all formats. And get to these quarter-final stages, and you look to a guy like this, top of the order, not a big score to chase, and 40 or 50 from the senior man could just crack it open.
And then the deep is in front of square, but does well.
Yeah, another cross-bat shot there, but this time he's managed to get some bat on it, unlike some of the ones in Kent's innings where sort of Sam Northeast, which was a big wicket, just playing across a couple of straight deliveries. I think they want to get a good foundation here. Matt Coles is a good bowler. He's a lot of shoulder, very much from the shoulder, ball angles in. He's developed a few variations, which you might see a little bit later on. See him hit the deck, try and get a little bit, extract a little bit out of this pitch if he can.
Now that's a shot. Not a lot wrong with the delivery. Perhaps marginally short, but just punched away through the vacant mid-wicket area. What a start that is for Ashwell Prince.
Yeah, it's a great shot from Ashwell Prince. It's something that's really marked his batting over the years, that little short arm jab. I mean, this is not very short from Coles. It's probably very similar to some of the other deliveries, maybe a little bit shorter, but my word is he just picked that up outside off stump, big backlift, and he's thundered that through mid-wicket for 4.
And again, has he got another? No, good work in the deep, good anticipation. Nearly a run out. I think he gets back okay. Yes, he does. 8 runs from the first over.
Yeah, you don't want to run too to Joe Denley's arm. He has got a thunder arm. Have a look at it here. Flat over the top. This is where fielding standards have got to nowadays.
I suspect both sides of Lancashire would have said, let's not just lose early wickets, let's get a solid start. Conversely, Kent would have said, we can just pick up a couple early ones. Interesting, on our list, Liam Livingston has just dropped down the order. We had him to open the batting, so whether that was a change at half-time to go with Alex Davis, we'll find out later, but Prince and Davies to open up. There's the boss sitting down. Ashley Giles will be He's so desperate to get his team back to Edgbaston for finals day.
Good nudge behind square for one. Ashwell Prince very strong on the leg side. Anything short, he tends to drag over to the leg side, and very strong on the cut as well. But it'll be quite interesting to see the way that they go about this, because Davies, you know, he wasn't down to open the batting. He's clearly come in here to play a few shots, try and get the guys off to a good start, see if Ashwell can almost bat through and get to that middle period where it might be a little bit tougher.
Have there been many attitude changes in the game this year? I mean, you've been playing 2020 cricket, and any new theories about the game, or pretty much as it was?
I just think the skills have got so much better, you know. Players are more and more conveying this free nature and this ability to go out and play these shots from ball one, you know. Very rarely in 2020, you look back 10 years when, you know, you take your time to get in, build yourself, got a lot of time. You know, guys are running down the wicket first ball now.
So where's all this come from? I mean, you played in a period where it perhaps wasn't like that. Now it is. What's going on?
Well, I don't know. The old adage of the better wickets, bigger bats. International cricket's gone that way. Keep up with the times, eh, Nick?
That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm interested in getting your views on it, because you see it all around the game now. Almost the attitude in dressing rooms is so different. Refreshingly different. Excellent delivery. That's why the slip's in place.
Yeah, coming back to that, Nick, you brought up an interesting point earlier on about, you know, this new attitude and also the amount of games that are being played. And I think, you know, you're seeing a more youthful brand. And I guess it's, you know, looking at Rob Key giving way for Sam Northeast, etc. More of these type of things are happening.
Nice looking shot, but another dot. Just one run from the over. 2 gone, 9 without loss. It's a favoured area. A lot going on, isn't there, with Ashwell Prince? A lot of movements, a lot of bat movements.
You find when you got to a bit of an older age, if that's a good way of putting it, Nick, that you freed up quite a lot in your playing days?
It's about, I guess, understanding your game, isn't it, and knowing your game. And the longer you play, and the more you play, I suppose you just begin to understand more and more about what your limitations are and where you can take your game to. Nice shot.
Good fielding from Blake in the outfield. He's quick. Another good dynamic fielder in this Kent team. Lots of youthful young guys who charge around the field. Talked about Joe Denley earlier. He's got Sam Northeast. Billings is the wicketkeeper. He's always got a lot to say. He's trying to G the guys up. Really make sure these boys put everything into it. This is their chance.
Oh, then, has that hit the boot? Yes, it has. Michael Goff said it's straight enough, it's full enough, and that's what Kent needed. An early breakthrough, and it's Matt Coles to get the wicket.
Just the start that Kent wanted, and that's full and straight. Another player. Parrish is playing across the line, looking for that little ramp shot. He's got in the right position, he's missed it. Ball just almost angled in a little bit. A very tough shot to play early on. Just keep as still as possible, and you can see he was just moving to the offside. And Coles has done the job that his team would have wanted. Another early strike. In comes, I think Cole Brown's coming to the crease now, but Alex Davies not sure what he was trying to do there. I think he tried to come down the wicket a few times, but didn't get it away, and I think he was trying to use the pace there, but that didn't work.
So 12 for 1, and the 1, of course, is so important to Kent. I feel they're below par with the bat. They can make early inroads, they have a chance. Carl Brown is an exciting player to watch. That's why the batting index is pretty high. Bit of a conundrum for Ashley Giles, really, is to work out what order to place his talent in, really. Stephen Croft is due in next, but then Josh Butler and James Faulkner can't be left for too long.
He is a good player. Someone who does can favour you. I mean, he hits the ball around the wicket, but he's not afraid to come down the crease and hit the new ball over extra cover. Gives himself a little bit of room. I think they're going to depend on these two. These are the guys who score the runs. We're having a look at this wicket again. As you can see, the ball just dips at the last second. You almost felt he got into a decent position. Actually, the ball's exactly where you want it as a batsman. At low full toss where you can just get a little bit of pace off. But he's just fallen a little bit too far into the offside, literally. Good start for Kent.
Replacement boot. Talking about the old days, I mean, we would never have had a replacement boot. Well, certainly wouldn't have been in the kit bag. We might have been lucky enough to have a replacement bat, but not a replacement boot.
With tape all over it.
Yeah.
Still got the slip in. Brought the slip in. I like this move from Sam Northeast. Get some more wickets. Quite easy to just sit back, isn't it, Nick, as a captain? Haven't got a big score. Now, do you need a slip? But this is a positive move. They can just get 1 or 2 more. They're right back in the game.
A lovely shot. Brilliant bit of fielding from the captain, who's in pretty close, and so he should be, just to cut the angle down. If he'd been hanging back 5 yards, it might well have beaten him and gone for 4.
Yeah, we spoke about their fielding. Sam Northeast pulled out an absolute spectacular dive there, saved his team 4 runs.
Good from Billings. An excellent over from Matt Coles. 3 runs from it and the wicket. 12 for 1.
Yeah, so much of this game is about momentum, and it doesn't matter whether you're bowling or batting. As the Kent team now, you're just starting to think, you know what, got something going here. That dismissal again of Davies, who, this is a straight one. If they can just get 1 or 2 more, suddenly you start thinking, you know what, get Treadwell in the middle, slow it all down. It's going to be really difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's probably his biggest decision as captain, isn't it? When does he bring Treadwell in? He'll want to hold him back as long as possible, just as a threat factor, but he may feel that if the game is just drifting away and he hasn't got the control that he'd like, he'll have to bring him in a bit earlier.
Yeah, I just wonder how Ashwell Prince is going to play this. There's a shorter boundary here on the leg side. If he can just get over to the offside and help the ball in its way, there's 4 runs on offer. This situation, you almost want the batsman to do something. You know, Prince will want to take as few risks as possible, but at the same time, you know, you've got to use this power play. You've got to make the most of it, and it's so important that Mitch Clayton just keeps bowling good balls, makes him hit his good balls.
Hard to give me. Just flicked away using the pace. Wrong direction from Clayton. And the form he's in, he'll just help himself.
Yeah, we just said he was trying to get over and just trying to help the ball on its way. You know, as a left-hander, he can't afford to get onto that leg side. That's just meat and drink for Ashwell Prince, who we know are strongs on the leg side. We've already seen a couple of pull shots, and that's very easy for him.
Oh, and again, even better this time, goes all the way.
Great shot from Ashwell. Come over to my side, he says. That was a slightly better delivery. It was in the arc though, and just watch as he, oh, it's great poise, great balance. Didn't try and hit it too hard.
Oh, mate, what are you doing?
He's dropped a clanger.
He's off the ball this time. It's brilliant batting. Just take the one.
Come, Brownie.
Now then, sir, you haven't got away with it. We're showing it again. Oh, come on.
Just wondering whether Sam thought about changing the bowling, giving Mitchell Clayton. Here's someone that can be lined up.
I mean, this is my point really. It's a sort of over that just might prompt the captain to say, Treadwell, we just need you to bowl in the power play. It wasn't perhaps the original plan, but it's maybe the type of thinking that he has to have. More runs. It's been a very expensive over. Mitch Clayton, 14 from it. We're through 4, 26 for 1.
Yeah, before these games, you always set out a vague plan. I mean, I know when we sat down before the T20 competition, we looked at, 50 for no more than losing 2 wickets was a rough gauge. Anything over 45 in the power play. And I think that gives you a good idea that, they've lost 1 wicket. They'll want to get 2 wickets, and maybe Treadwell is the positive move. Bring him in for an over in the power play. Just might induce that poor shot. We've seen how difficult it is to get after the spinners so far.
That's a good look at it. I think it pitches outside leg. That's the only, I think, the question mark for Michael Goff. He's not happy, Matt Cole. He thinks that's pitched on. It's just whether it's pitched on is the real problem for the umpire. Has to be quite full with the left-hander. Has it pitched in line?
Just didn't look right for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good decision.
Good though, he looks aggressive. I like the look of Matt Coles today. He's looking very aggressive. Prince trying to heave another one over to the leg side. Mid-wicket in place now.
That's his slot. And, deal with that all day long.
Whether you could change the field. Another strong shot from Ashwell Prince. We've seen a few of these now. Just wonder if Sam Northeast going to prompt a move here. He's just moving. I think it's James Treadwell at mid-wicket, just onto the mid-wicket boundary. Just pushed him back a few yards. Hopefully he'll miss time one and get the catch.
No, I think it was an attempted slow ball that goes wrong. He's got a lot on his mind, Sam Northeast, so he's not going to get everything right. But the other problem he's got is James Treadwell's at mid-wicket. You ideally want one of your better fielders in that position because that's one of his strong shots. Might be able to just get a wicket out of nothing, a diving catch at mid-wicket.
Squirts one to square leg and another run to the leg side. Yeah, it's a difficult one because you know how strong he is on the leg side, and you almost think to yourself, well, let's try and get him to play something else. Let's see how he goes. If he does come down the wicket and hit one over extra cover, well played. But let's see that shot rather than just bowling the same delivery and getting the same outcome. Gone hard with seam, hasn't he, Sam? He's got his 2 big seamers to get 2 overs under their belt each, and It's a little bit of a risk sometimes because you can just line them up a little bit, get the pace of the ball. And as Rob said earlier, you know, pace on in this power play is so much easier.
.32 for 1. Yeah, they'll be pretty happy at this stage, particularly with Ashwell Prince looking in such good form. He's forced Sam Northeast to make the change. It's not Treadwell, but it is his other experienced hand, Darren Stevens, who missed out with the bat, but might bowl well on this surface.
Sometimes he opens the bowling, Steve-O. Depends on the conditions. I think today, with his lack of pace, he might be very useful in this middle period. Very hard to hit him. He's a canny old fox. Swings it in the 4-day stuff, but here he just bowls these little medium paces that can just move both ways.
Finds the gap importantly. Was in the air for a little while.
Come on, Joey.
Good work from Denley.
Not if he bowls in there every day. That was a real loosener. Real drag down here, and actually forces Ashwell to hit one on the offside. We haven't seen many of those. Darren Stevens, one of them, and James Treadwell will play a huge part in this middle period here. Just trying to get his field over, get his point just behind square. They've got to.
Gone! That's what they needed. Good change from Sam Northeast. Darren Stevens picks up the wicket.
The old wily fox, we just said it. Bit of experience. Darren Stevens, James Treadwell will probably come on for the next over, but this is where Darren Stevens so good. There's not a lot of pace to work with, and forced Cole Brown to play across the line, play a big heave, and we've seen so many wickets fall today from cross-batted shots. And he has the same one. He just tries to heave it, lifts his head a little bit. And Darren Stevens says, "You miss, I hit." That's what Kent need from the experience. Cole Brown gone, one from just 7 deliveries.
Right, let's get a word with our insider. Sam, you're in a great position to see that wicket. More importantly, though, how are you feeling about the position of the game right now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that wicket helps. If we get Prince out, I think that obviously a massive wicket, high-class player. So, I mean, Treddy and Fabian did a great job to get us up to 140 on this pitch. We were saying 150 would be quite a good score, actually.
Sorry, you say 150 was a good score?
Yeah, we reckoned anything over 150 would be a really good score. I mean, it's just going to get harder and harder. So, yeah, I'm sure Livy's going to have a bit of a swipe here, straight up. 3 down, 4 down. Could be interesting.
What about Treadwell? How much impact are you hoping he's going to have?
Sorry. Oi! Hit me, Tread. Oi! Yeah, Joey. Awesome tread in there. Brilliant, Steve-O.
Sam, have you still got us?
Yeah.
So what do you reckon then? How important is Treadwell going to be here?
Yeah, Treddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, massive. I mean, high-quality bowler, so it's only going to get tougher for them.
When do you think he's going to come into the attack? Quite soon?
Going to have to know. Good one, Steve-O.
We'll leave you there, mate. I know you're concentrating. Thanks very much.
Down, down we go. Yes, sir. Brilliant, Steve-O. Brilliant, Steve-O. Only going to get tougher here, lads, eh?
Yeah, that's the the beauty for Kent is that they've got a couple of wickets and they've still got all their spin options that he was talking about there, Sam Billings. That's good again, get tight in.
So important for Kent. Just watching Steve, I love watching him play. He can't keep him out of the action. He's either smacking it for 6 and coming in at the end of an innings, or he's bowling and doing a job for his team. It's been a good over so far. You'll want to finish it well.
Five from the over and a wicket, 37 for 2 from 6. So through the power play overs, 32 for 2. And it's 37 for 2, so very, very similar. The wickets, Matt Cole's there. And Ashwell Prince stands between both the sides at the moment. Played beautifully the ball up particularly well from their leg stump line. Ugly heave. Oh, Brown just keeps Kent in the game. So neither side really getting away in the first 6 overs. Sam Northeast is going to hold Treadwell back yet further. He's going to bring in Fabian Cowdery as his spin option. Slingy action, low slingy action.
Had a great little cameo. Really good to see him play some of those shots, especially the scoop.
Start. Have to run, he'll have to run now then we're going to have a look upstairs.
This is close. Just feel he might have got in.
It just felt that way, didn't it? But Sam Billings and Kent aren't really celebrating, but you never know. Ivan Thomas with the field. It's a brilliant throw. I think he's going to be okay.
Good reach, good arm reach, good length. Just got himself in.
Only a bit of fielding, great throw. And in the end, excellent running.
Spoken about fielding, I mean, it's been exceptional today. That catch from Aaron Lilly was something else. To show that at some stage, but the fielding from Kent, young, athletic, good strong arms, straight over the top.
Yeah, keep going, Mitchie, keep going. Well, Fabs, that'll be good. That one. Yeah, deeps.
Can almost afford to just knock it around now. They know they've got Faulkner to come, and they've got Joss Butler and, you know, some guys that can really play well towards the back end of an innings. So they want to set it up as well as they can.
Yeah, it's the only thing I'm thinking up here, if you're Sam Northeast, whether you could do differently, is just bring the field up a little bit for Liam Livingstone. Just try and keep him on strike. Last thing you want is him just knocking it into the gaps and Ashwell Prince on strike. Croft has the pads on, Butler has the pads on. We'll try and avoid that, I would say.
Yeah, I like your thinking. Almost say, come on, if you want to play a big shot, let's go for it. So if we take another wicket, then we can really squeeze you. Just being able to knock it for ones, getting Ashwell Prince back on strike, almost just builds the game for the big hitters.
Brilliant, Fabes. Awesome, Fabio. Awesome, Fabio. Come on, lads, only going to get tougher here. Only going to get tougher.
Decent over, but just knocking it around for now. Ashwell Prince, 7 runs from the over. We're through 7, 44 for 2. Dangerous signs for Kent. He's limbering up Josh Butler. Not due in next on the scorecard, but may come in next. 44 for 2 then. Kent will feel they're still just about in it. Rob Key certainly feels that. He's up here with Ian Ward.
Well, we'll ask him. Kent in it?
Yeah, Kent in it. Big passage of play now. You can have the power play, not bothered by that. It's about Treadwell, Cowdrey, pace off the ball, Stevens. Prince 35 of 25. He's there at the end. It's game over, that is for sure. But this is where it gets intriguing.
Well, let's see the field that the captain has set for James Treadwell, or perhaps Treadwell spirits enough just to set his own field. No catches, so he's just going to settle. How does Prince go about it? He'll know that this is Kent's trump card.
Brilliant, Treadler. Awesome, Treadler.
Moving swiftly to his left.
I tell you, he's one of the best. He's brilliant. Like he's the best goalkeeper almost. He's the best fielder off his own bowling.
Well,
Prince wanted 2, or was thinking about 2, but the ball down that slope and off the square got very quickly to the fielder. Yeah, we saw Butler limbering up in the dugout, so if they do get a little bit stuck at times, Lancashire, they know they've got a bit of acceleration from Butler and Faulkner.
Yeah, that's why they don't have to panic, is it? It's so nice when you've got people like that to come, where you just think, right, we'll just play, just tick it up and set it up for them. The only problem, because we're going to go too long, they don't get to the crease.
here we go.
It'll be quite nice to see Josh Butler bat today, released by ECB to play in this quarter-final, as was Ian Bell and Moeen Ali, etc. Butler could probably do with a little hit. A little blast out there. Free the shoulders.
1 minute.
Yeah, it's been fascinating, isn't it, the Ashes, really, because they've not been on them, well, with the exception of probably Lords. It's been tough work for the batsmen. Australians have found that. It's been tough for everyone, really. If you've got runs in that series, you know you've played really well. Some of the class from Anderson, Broad.
Hit me,
Come over to my side, says Ashwell Prince, as he trots down to the non-strikers, moves to 37 off 28. Looks like he wants a fresh pair of gloves.
Come on. Little giveaway. Come on, boys.
Last ball of the 8th. Oh, he's got hold of it. Treadwell has ruined what was a very good over up to that point with a half tracker. 53 for 2.
Yeah, he took all the pace, all the life out of the ball and sent it up to the moon almost, Treadwell, and Livingston was actually ready for it. Just back the old under-10s pull shot.
That's the MCC, back and across, but instead of rolling the wrist, you just whack it out of the park.
Do you remember when we were kids, you would have done it? That was how they taught you how to play the pull shot, wasn't it? And then you get a bit older and you play them, and you think, right, that's how you pull the ball, and by the time you've gone back foot there, then the front foot comes round, you've got it straight on the chest.
Yes, I think the game's moved on from when that manual was written. Certainly in 2020. Another look at this. But that is the MCC textbook. Back and across. But this time they belt it.
And then Lara turned up, didn't he, with the old knee up and all of that. What's he doing?
Greenwich and all these blokes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Deeps. Come on, now we done this.
Darren Stevens changed ends. First over went for 5. He's had enough of running up the hill. He's going to trot down the hill now. Which end does he operate from in county cricket?
Yeah, generally this one. He's got such good control, such a good wrist, Steve-O. There's not many outswingers as he normally is, or that bowl from this end. So you explain that the outswinger normally goes away from the right-hander and the slope the same. So the slope's left to right if you're batting. Here it's the opposite. So you're batting with the slope right to left. I never feel like I'm explaining that well.
I wasn't quite sure where you're going with it, but I know what you mean. He's trying to swing the ball up the slope, which perhaps would help if it was the other end, but and Anderson likes it at Lords.
Yeah, it basically means that he's bowling outswingers. So the ball's going away from the right-hander, but he wants to use the slope to get it to go back in. So hopefully he does a bit of both. And in 2020, the game's about angles. You want to cramp the batsman for room. You don't want to be swinging the ball away from the right-hander, letting him free his arms up. You want to be getting it back into him as best you can.
We always talk about the Lord's slope, which is, what, 8 feet? Not sure what it is here, but it always surprised me. I don't know how many times I've been down here either as a commentator or as a player. You first see the ground for a while, and it's been a while since I've been down there. You think, crikey, that slope is very, very noticeable. He's timing it well, isn't he, Mr. Prince?
He just brings it onto the leg side all day long, doesn't he? Just bottom hand comes through and he brings it over onto the good side. When you play against Prince, you have to pack the leg side. Even in 4-day cricket, you bowl just outside off stump and he works the ball into the leg side. He's got his own technique, but it's very effective.
Discussion now between captain and senior player and current bowler Darren Stevens. Haven't seen too much of an adjustment to the field just yet. He's got protection on the boundary at extra cover. He's got a long off, a long on and a deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg. They've had their chat but decided to leave things as they are to Livingston. Played well against you the other day in the Royal London, didn't he?
Yeah, I reckon it was his first game maybe as well. I'm not sure. In the Royal London, that is. Yeah, they reckon he played brilliantly. Ramp shots and slog sweeps and reverse sweeps.
Strong shot down the ground off the back foot. After 9 overs, 57 for 2 Lancs. Eleven overs to go and Lancashire require 86 to book their place at finals day. Northants, Birmingham and last night Hampshire will be going to Edgbaston. Swing and a miss and fallen straight and Treadwell has his first.
Yeah, he just pushes it through this time, Treadwell, and he gets him right in front. If anything, the only doubt would have been whether it was outside the line of off stump, but I reckon it was just there. Oh, it's pretty tight.
Well, it's going on to hit the stumps, but for my money, that's hit him outside the line of off stump playing a shot. So Liam Livingstone can consider himself a touch unfortunate. 12 for him, 57 for 3. But given out on the shot, it wasn't a terrific shot. It was full marks to Treadwell for pushing it through. Just have a look where this strikes him. That's the umpire's view. And he has decided that hit him in line with off stump. We have the advantage of this camera position and a bit of time. Hit him outside off stump. Still, makes the game just that little bit more intriguing. Wasp has this game at 55%, so a bit of a 50-50 game. And here is Jos Buttler. Batting index of 171. Remember, that's strike rate plus average. You know just how devastating this guy can be with bat in hand. Only a second game for Lancashire in the NatWest Blast of this season. First game, Headingley, Rose's game. Remember that one? The last ball thriller. Oh, close! Turn from Treadwell, no! Nick Cook, I think, suggesting that has done too much and is going down the leg side. Treadwell is trying to turn this up the slope.
Yeah, this is ripped out of the surface. He's right back, Buttler. This is really close. The crowd have seen it on the big screen. It looks like he's almost turned it too much, Treadwell. Look at Billings go.
Now playing off the back foot again. This is a good little contest between Treadwell and Buttler, just to see if Buttler can get going, get some sort of fluency. Field stays the same. Not a decrease from Treadwell, and Buttler can't beat straight mid-wicket. crowd are starting to make some noise. Another quick look at the LB decision. Good turn out of some sort of footmark. Oh, that's close. Butler goes leg side and goes maximum. I'm not having this, James Treadwell. Take that.
How's he got that? He looked like he was nowhere near that, Butler. He thought he just hit it straight down long on. Everyone looked up thinking, here we go. And how he's hit that this well. Nowhere near it. Does him in the flight. 6.
And now a calm single down to long on. So Butler is up to 7, scored a 64. Halfway stage, Lancashire needing 79 more. And look how quickly he just wraps that right hand into the shot. That's where the power comes. That's just a flick.
He wasn't sure though, was he? He had a little look. Done him all ends up there, Treadwell. Not just 6 either.
Yeah, when you do see Butler, well, batting in games live or seeing him range it, it is a thing to behold. So he's down at the striker's end now, and he's going to face up to Darren Stevens. Stevens has bowled a couple of overs. Just a slight change of field for Butler. We've got the fine leg up. Square leg on the boundary has gone a lot straighter. He's almost at straight mid-wicket on the fence.
Oh, yeah, after 10 overs, Kent 62 for 4, Lancashire 65 for 3. So game on well and truly here, Butler's a B. You almost get the feeling that everyone in the ground, anyone who was anywhere, is now just split what they were doing. They're casually watching the cricket, talking away, and now they're watching every ball that Butler faces.
Brilliant, Daz. Awesome here, Darren. Awesome here, Darren.
Meanwhile, Prince just continues on, 39 off 32. He's made it look easy so far.
Come on, eh? That rate's going up here. Babs. Babs. Babs.
Leg side for Prince, found the gap, got enough on it, and that'll go up the hill for 4, takes him into the 40s.
Yeah, for all of Butler's class and everyone wanting to see Joss Butler bat, Ashwell Prince is just given as a masterclass on how to bat on a pretty slow, turgid pitch. Pure nomination from Prince. Knows that Stevens is just going to try and hit a length, so he goes across and knows the gap's there as well, knows that fine leg's up in the circle.
Sort of the Sam Billings shot, a sort of pull sweep off the seamer. As Billings was explaining to us when he was speaking to Nick Knight, it can play with the bowler and captain's mind. Will they change the field? At the moment they're in discussion, but nothing has changed. But that shot has brought the change, so long off is coming up into the circle, and we now have a fine leg. So the shot has brought 4 and a change of plan.
Yeah, that's better. I tell you what, I'm not sure you even need a mid-off, do you, for Prince? He doesn't look like he can get the ball there.
Yes, Sam. Awesome.
Every ball, he just works it into the leg side all the time, mid-off. Redundant, almost.
If you did want to take one across the other side, you could just pull extra cover a little bit straighter if you wanted to, because you got protection on the offside with the sweeper.
Yeah, Joey.
He'll happily play that shot all day.
Joey.
7 runs from the 11th. Lancashire moved to 71 for 3. Lancashire are 71 for 3. Kent were 65 for 5. Kent were in a period where they couldn't stop losing wickets playing across the line at the spinners. So Lancashire have the advantage marginally with runs, but certainly with a couple of extra wickets in the tank. Treadwell to Butler. Oh, I thought he was going to chip that straight to him.
Awesome, Treader. Awesome here, Treader.
Oh yes, what a sight. Fantastic.
Yes, ball.
Good shot and outstanding work from Darren Stevens. I tell you what, Butler has absolutely nailed that. See what these youngsters can do now in 2020 in the field, Rob.
Yeah, was he 39, Steve? But he is going on 18, so he should pick that up. Just a little bit edgy, Butler. You think he's desperate to get in. It's a really good contest. Treadwell. What was he? Treadwell would have been in the top 10 in the world at one-day cricket as a bowler. You know, one of the best one-day batsmen in the world as well. Brilliant contest. Meanwhile, Prince works it again. Doesn't matter if it's spinning away from him. Works it again onto the leg side. And Butler again. You just feel that he wants to have a go at Treadwell. He's looking at him here, thinking, right. Seen him try and use his crease. Treadwell has been a match for him so far.
Get nervous if they lose two more, eh? One more, eh?
It's an excellent contest.
Right, going up. Down.
Good bowling. Stevens on this occasion looks like a 39-year-old. Good from Treadwell though, wide of the crease, angling it in and just cramping Butler. As you say, he looks a little jumpy, as if he wants to really target him.
Well, what's his last ball of Treadwell's third over, 2.51 for 19 at the minute.
So what does North East do next time at the pavilion end?
Keep him back, mind you. Butler, it's just hard, isn't it? Really. You keep him back, but Butler looks edgy to him.
Dink from Prince. Only 4 from the 12th. Well bowled, James Treadwell, 75 for 3. I'm just wondering if North East might say, you know what, he is looking edgy. I might just gamble here. See if we can get Butler.
But that's exactly what, as he's walking across now, that's exactly what's going through his mind, isn't it? Do I hold him back? Do I keep him going? Butler's edgy, but I want to have something at the end. Now I've gone to Cowdrey. Stevens has got one more. They're all the things going through your mind.
Coles has 1 remaining, Stevens 1, and crucially for Kent and North East, Treadwell just the 1.
I reckon this is a moment as well where Butler will probably fancy having a go at Cowdrey. Cowdrey's a batsman who bowls part-time spin, although very handy part-time spin, and he's been brilliant this year in the role that he's played. Generally bowling from the tougher end as well, where he's got the shorter boundary.
Yeah, the only thing he's got in his defence when bowling to Butler, it's Prince on strike at the moment. If Butler targets leg side, short boundary, yes, he is just slightly hitting into the breeze if there is any. But it is so short. Oh, Ashwell goes the offside, but not in the conventional way.
That's probably the easier way for him to get it on the offside than just hitting a nice little check drive. It's not like having a go at him. He's a fine player. He's having a fantastic year. But whenever you play him, he just doesn't look to hit the ball offside.
Well, that was pitching outside leg stump and going up the hill. And he's watched it like a hawk. Beady eye and quick hands. Well filmed, Mr. Cook. Oh, that's done everybody. I'm not sure if Butler's got something on that. Billings certainly didn't get much on it. Treadwell is herring after it, and they'll come back for 3-something. All eyes on umpire Goff. Bit of bat, bit of glove, something.
There's one of those where just so much happening, wasn't it? It just got through, and Goff thinks it must have hit the glove, I suppose. Cowdrey obviously does.
Nightmare for keepers, that, isn't it? Got a bat, gloves, pads flying in front of you. Very, very difficult.
Oh, yeah, The race just creeping up a bit, 8.4 now, although that's very manageable. 63 or 45, Wasp 49%, 59%. Can't read the thing that's on here. Very clearly says 59, I can't.
Oh, is that down?
Yes, Fates, yes, Fates. What's in here, boy? What's in here, boy?
Cowdrey's pretty calm about it, so maybe there was no bat involved.
One thing's for sure, if he had any bat on that, Cowdrey would be up in the air.
Come on, lads. Great set this, Fabs. Great set this, Fabs. Finish it off, bud. Finish it off, bud. Keep pushing this right up, lads. Pushing this right up.
Last ball of the 13th. Chipped leg side into the gap, and that's a beautifully constructed 50 for Ashwell Prince. 85 for 3. Five fours and a 6 for Ashwell Prince. He's 52 unbeaten from just 40 deliveries, and he got to that mini milestone with a beautiful shot. Favourite area, leg side, yes. Execution, brilliant. And he's playing a very calm hand here for Lancashire. They still need 58 runs, 7 overs remaining. We're going to have Ivan Thomas to bowl at the pavilion end, so he is going to keep one back from Treadwell.
Yeah, and that's not a bad move, I think. Your best bowler, you want to have one up your sleeve when the game's going to be right on the line. Ivan Thomas, just the 4 matches this year, but he's bowled well when he's played. It's been a long time out of the side for injury, with a shoulder or elbow injury. He's got a chance to take a big scalp.
Sam Billings behind the stumps, just suggesting there it's carried through a little bit of bounce. Oh, nice shot. Nice shot. Deliberately played, yes, he got it extremely fine, but he was looking to use the pace of the ball outside off stump.
Yeah, clever batting.
Come on, man. Come on, this is the
Clever
wicket,
batting,
mate.
just using the pace.
Straight out here, Ivor. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Yes. Hit me, single.
Stevens again, but you'll do well to run out Butler or Ashwell Prince. They are rapid between the wickets. Butler just checking with his partner that he'd be okay. Fancy he'd be fine, yeah. Very quick. Pre-season training, Butler used to race Marcus Trescothick down at Somerset when Butler was down there. Difference was Tres would run forward and Butler would be running backwards. He was getting closer and closer every year.
Tres in a car.
Oh, wide, well taken.
Almost did Thomas there. He just thought he had a little shimmy, just moved his foot as if he was going to do something, go across the stumps. Thomas saw that and tried to counter it. And he just stayed pretty still.
Saying earlier about Carl Jarvis being on a hat-trick. His hat-trick ball was a wide. I was on a hat-trick once in a whatever one-day quarter-final it was at Hove. And my hat-trick ball went for 6.
How are you on a hat-trick?
Well, no,
How are you even bowling?
Because I was captain.
What, a proper game?
Quarter-final. No, we were going around the park. I was got to do something. Came on, took 2 wickets in the over. Hat-trick ball went for 6. Ball went over the flats. As Mahmood came up to me and said, "That'll do, Skip." Off.
Azza would have told you what to do, wouldn't he, Azza?
Absolutely did. That'll do, Skip. All right, yeah, point taken.
We used to try and change the field for Azza. Say, should we have mid-off up? No. No, mid-off up. Come on, what about a really good idea? No. He's like, I don't think I ever changed the field once from Azza when I was captain.
Oh, that's a glorious strike from Butler into the crowd over extra cover. We saw that at Lord's in that majestic 100 a while ago. 98 for 3, 45 needed by Lancashire.
It just makes it look so easy. You're a bit wide, bit full. There's not many that can do that. You watch that, you think you can, but you can't.
So Butler's up to 26 off 19. Ashwell Prince is 53 not out. 45 needed from the last 6 overs. Take you through to the end of the game where we'll have our last quarter finalist into finals day. 2 Nicks, Compton and Knight.
That shot over extra, Nick. Played down at Somerset with Joss for so long. Just amazed me. He used to do that against off spinners. You know, most of the time you try and work with the spin, but just had this ability to come down the wicket and hit off spin over extra cover.
Yeah, he's a very special talent. It's been shorter runs in the test matches, but they'll come. Perhaps why this game today has been good for him. Test match coming up, of course, at the Oval. Just free up, just hit the ball. Worry about technique or staying in. Just let the instincts take over, and that's what he's done here.
Can't need a wicket. Yeah, almost ominous signs here for Kent. Joss is looking increasingly comfortable. He looks got that little swagger, and he's moving around the crease, making things happen. You can see just, you know, he's hit a few good shots now. He's just in the swing of it. 27 off 20, so going well. Great foil for Ashwell Prince, who's just been able to tick along and keep nurdling the ball to the leg side.
There we go. We've seen that a lot, haven't we, throughout this innings. And you might think at home, we just bowl a different line, but whatever line they bowled, even though it be outside off stump, he's still got to cross the stumps and access that area of the ground. Look a good side, don't they? 101 for 3. They're going to. It's going to take something pretty dramatic to change the course of this game. Finalist last year, of course. Well, that's a rare sight. The fact that he missed it.
Yeah, it was there, wasn't it? He plays that so well. You can see the man at square leg's very wide, so he just had to get a little bit of bat in it. Past Sam Billings. Horrible position for a keeper. Ugh. Just praying he doesn't get a top edge into your grill.
Seen many of the quarterfinals?
I saw a bit of the Willie exhibition. That was pretty impressive, wasn't it? But not a huge amount, Nick. We've been quite busy. Who's looked good for you?
Well, Lancashire look good here, don't they? The fact that Faulkner's still not come to the crease, so they've got plenty of depth. $102 for 3, 5 to go. to answer your question, I mean, Hampshire looked very good yesterday. They look like they've got an excellent bowling unit, both with the new ball and at the death, and with spin options in the middle. It was a pretty comprehensive performance yesterday. Birmingham Bears played well against Essex. And as you say, David Willey, if he has a good day, then you certainly can't discount Northants. And I think from a team perspective, I think Hampshire look the strongest team, assuming that Lancs go through here.
Watching Joss just give himself a little bit of room, trying to look for that extra cover, because there's a very short boundary at extra cover there, and he's already hit 1-6 into the crowd there. But he's just, it's almost it's a nice way of batting. Treadwell's spin into the ball, opens his hips up and really tries to get through the ball over extra. There's a big gap out there. They really do need a wicket here, Ken. I just wonder whether Sam could take a risk here and bring someone else up. In this situation here, Nick, I just wonder, as a captain, I mean, you've got to kind of take a risk at some point. You know, you clearly need a wicket. You know, do you try and enforce that? Do you do that by bringing a different bowler on, or do you bring a man up and say, come on, try and play a different shot?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that the game may well have gone now, but I mean, you give up by any means. Perhaps bring the odd fielder up, perhaps just rotate the bowlers, don't let the batsmen settle. I mean, watching the game live, I felt the key moments were really when Darren Stevens and Treadwell were bowling together around the 8th, 9th, 10th over. It's a lovely strike, a sweet strike down the ground, over the sight screen and into the stand.
Looking to give himself some room, and that is Joss Buttler at his best. He's absolutely clubbed that straight down the ground, over the side screen. Treadwell bowls a sort of dart straight at the stumps, but it didn't matter where he bowled it. That ball was always going for 6. This is great for Joss Buttler, getting himself in a bit of form, just freeing his arms. Almost up with the run rate now.
Well, Treadwell is pleading with the umpire. He's already had one turn down at first delivery to Joss Buttler, but Nick Cook says no again. 1 for 28 from his 4 overs. Buttler survives, 110 for 3.
Another quicker one from Treadwell, just angling on with the arm. Saw a few wickets like that today, but that one just wasn't. It's a bit like Kent's day today. Lancashire bowled those and Kent missed them, and when Lancashire missed them, they're not hitting the stumps. So one of those days. You can see that look on Treadwell's face. He's bowled really well. They're 1 for 28 off his 4 overs. We always knew he was going to be the tough man, the man that needed to really get Kent into a good position here. He did a good job, but I just feel like if he could have got a couple more wickets. Bit of a discussion going on with captain and his opening bowler, Darren Stevens, just lurking there. Just discussing whether they're going to go with taking pace off the ball, lots of slower balls into the pitch, or whether he's going to bowl his Yorkers. So they'll decide that and work out whether they want to bring up their third man or their fine leg.
I mean, assuming Lancashire go on and win this game, it would be 3 away wins, won't it, in the quarterfinals? We talk a lot at the end of the group stages about the importance of having a home tie. It'll be just 1 win, looks like, for the home side, that being the Birmingham Bears against Essex.
Yeah, the experience has showed, hasn't it, with Lancashire today. You know, you look at Ashwell Prince, who's such an experienced campaigner, played in a lot of these kind of tournaments and these situations, and you know, he's been the linchpin. The team have batted around, and I think just, you know, Kent just lacked that a little bit. They needed someone to be there.
We've got the draw after this game. Conclusion of this game, we've got the draw for finals day. I don't think we'll know who is playing in the first game and the second game. I think that's going to be decided tomorrow. Of course, we'll know who's playing who in semi-final 1 and semi-final 2. Alan Fordham is down with us, and the ECB, of course, so we'll be doing that straight after this. Good stop. I should know this, but have you played in finals day?
Yes. Yeah, we had a couple of opportunities at Sunset when we had that sort of good little period, but never got over the line.
You reckon it's an advantage to play in the first game or the second game?
Gee, I don't know. I think maybe the second game, just to get a look at what the conditions are like and how the other teams have fared. Basically, what not to do.
I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been in touch with Benedict, to find out whether there's any advantage to playing in semi-final 1 and semi-final 2. Previous 12 winners, it's split 6-6. What do you know?
He was.
So in effect, no advantage really.
Come on, let's get a wicket. Let's get this Kent crowd going again. They don't say a lot when the other team's doing well, do they?
No, they're pretty partisan, aren't they? I think realistically they would have felt at half-time that they were a little bit light of where they'd like to be. Lancashire have been pretty clinical up until now.
Good Yorker, that. He's nailing his Yorkers, but it's almost a little too late. Joss Buttler now doesn't really need to take that risk and just keep making sure he gets some bat on it and just scamper through for the single. These two players are well in now and almost down to a runner ball. Come on, Nick, let's think of a brainwave. What can you do? A hat-trick? Yeah. One of Wardy's hat-tricks?
Seven from the over, 117 for 3. 26 from 18.
What are the 2020 wickets been like at Edgbaston this year? Are they good?
Yeah, they've been pretty good. It's a long day, isn't it, finals day? So that's my point really about Hampshire. It's just good to have that variation in your attack. Just depending on what surface you get. Often in Birmingham you get rain-affected games, drizzle around. Let's just hope that stays away on finals day.
I remember playing there 3 or 4 years ago and it was so dry. It just turned square. 90 or 100 was even a good score. Don't think we'll have it this year.
Yeah, well, Lancashire, another side that have got variation in their attack. Faulkner, of course. Parry has bowled well today, captain. Aaron Lilly. So it doesn't look at this stage, unless things change dramatically, that we're going to see Sam Billings and his team at finals day. But they really have entertained us throughout the course of the group stages. And they need something pretty special here. Oh, now, wrong end. Took a while. In the end, he was getting called by his teammates. There was a deflection onto the stump at the non-striker's end, and he got a little bit distracted. Might just have a look at that, but I don't know if Joss Buttler's got back. I think he has. Yeah, we're just going to have a look at this. This is for the original run-out of Ashwell Prince. And the ball rebounds back off the stumps, and he's almost in a double play situation where he could have picked it up and try and run out Joss Buttler.
Just have a look here and see if he's out of his crease. He's come definitely. Oh.
Yeah, it's just whether there's any connection with the hand here.
Yes, I think he's got a little baby finger on it.
That's.
I mean, you don't react that. I think he's just got his pinky on that.
It's difficult to tell, isn't it, from that angle? It's a tricky one for Martin Saggers. Is that a little difficult to see from there as well? No question that Ashwell Prince hasn't made his ground.
Hot spot.
Very difficult with the.
Who'd want to be a third umpire?
Well, with what's available, and obviously showing Martin Saggers everything we've got available. Your hunch as a player is there's a little finger end on it, but is that conclusive enough? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to go with the player's word, are they?
I mean, it's a good point you make. I mean, you know, surely the bowler there will know whether he's got a little finger on it. Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult for the third umpire to make a decision based on what he can see. I think maybe that's what Sam Northeast might be saying. Look, my bowler feels that he's got a connection.
He looks really annoyed, Thomas, which perhaps is an indication that he felt he got a little nail on it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like, you know, going back over the years, your umpires would take the word of the fielding side and the bowler and just move on. But nowadays, go to these replays and it often proves very inconclusive.
I think what he's arguing there is that my bowler said he's touched the ball, and
that's right.
Just got to get on with it, I guess.
Yeah, you'd like to play the game in an era where everybody trusts the bowler and the fielder. In this instance, it's just not the way it is. And that's exactly what fielder and Kent don't need right now.
Yeah, that'll hurt.
Aaron Stevens, I think, yeah.
Unlike Steve, I got such good hands, but just took the eye off the ball here.
Excellent bowling.
Yeah, just got to hope that Josh Butler misses one and gives them a little bit of an opportunity to get in at the new batsman, but at the moment doesn't look like missing anything. Bowls with a good angle, Thomas, just angles in, goes a little bit wide of the crease, just cramps you up for space.
That's an extraordinary shot. It really is quite a brilliant shot. Totally predetermined because third man is up and point is just behind square. To play a shot like that, immense talent.
We were just talking about him angling in, and he's, instead of going outside where he's cramped him up a few times, he's just got the old reverse sweep out, and that's Josh Butler at his audacious best. Look at that. No chance for the fielders.
Brilliant batting in the sense that, as you say there, he knows exactly what line he's going to bowl and length. Yeah, you haven't done a lot wrong, mate. This time he gets it through to third man, more conventionally. Again, going for the Yorker outside off stump this time. 13 runs from the over, 130 for 3, Lanks almost there.
A bit sorry for Ivan Thomas. Could have had the run out. Brilliant bit of work, and instead he's gone for 3 boundaries in the last 4 deliveries.
Great batting though, isn't it? So much to admire about the skill. You always used to say that he can hit the ball 360. He's just showing you why, really. So lots now on the shoulders of Mitch Claydon, who has 1 over left, 3 overs none for 22, 13 required. This will be the over, really, to try and do something incredibly special and restrict A, the runs, but B, get a couple of wickets and just give him a sniff in that last over.
That's the only chance Sam and his team have got. I just hope that they can just have a good over here.
Now then, has he picked out the man? Yes, he has. They're still just about alive. Ashwell Prince has picked out Joe Denley in the deep with his favourite shot of the day. Now then, is there a twist?
Not sure Joe Denley picked that up very well, but he's got a great set of hands. And Ashwell Prince it's just throwing that away. It's right in his arc. He's hit that ball all day. He's hit it down there for runs, 4s, 6s, 1s and 2s. But this time he's picked out Joe Denley, who doesn't make any mistakes. Very comfortable catch, well taken. He looks livid with himself. I think it's the type of guy who would have liked to be not out there, but he's possibly played his team right into the semi-finals and finals day. 62 of 50. Fantastic knock.
Yeah, you're right. He would have delighted if he could have been there at the end, but he'll know that he's just about done enough, or he should have just about done enough. The captain has strode to the middle. James Faulkner still yet to come. So captain saying, leave it down to me. Well, they have an end to bowl at now. And now further questions for Sam Northeast. Needs to keep Croft on strike, really, with Butler going so well at the other end. In on the one.
See if he can squeeze a couple of dot balls out of the new batter.
In on the one. Get in tight. Sam Billings is just changing the angles round slightly. He's got 4 in the circle. Maybe he could bring an extra 1 or 2 up here. That'll do. That will do nicely. Perfect start then to this over. He's had a wicket and a dot ball. Still 13 runs required. Wasp is saying 75%. The coach there is just beginning to get a bit anxious.
Stay calm, stay calm. And Clayton produced another good ball.
Yes, he can. And more importantly, Jos Buttler stays off strike.
It's all happening here. The crowd have really started going. Sam Billings is just making sure he's getting in the batsman's ear, just letting him know that there's a little bit of heat on here.
Yeah,
the crowd is...
Sorry, Nick, just to add to that, James Faulkner is the finisher in the world game. He could have strode out, but in the end, he has decided that he is going to finish the game for his team. Another good delivery, should just go for... Well, I think it's a good run. We might have another look upstairs. Excellent bit of work again from Sam Billings.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed getting 2 there. Just got 1 to third man. It's a decent throw, off balance, but it's a exceptional dive. I think he's in there. Yeah, didn't need 2 there just to get Croft going. 13 from 8. Sorry, 11 from 8.
That's been very spirited from Kent. I still feel they just about have a chance here. That'll do, just 1. No. 10 from 7, but more importantly, can they keep Jos Buttler off strike for the last over? Butler's on 49.
Yeah, he'll probably just want to get himself 1, get on strike for the last over. And
yeah, but it's been an exceptional over from Mitch Clayton. 3 runs from it and the wicket. If he can get a dot ball here, we've still got a game on. Ah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He won't be on strike, but what a shot with the pressure on. 3rd man up, and another boundary and a half century to Jos Buttler.
That is exceptional shot. Just talking about nurdling 1 for 1 to get onto the strike for the next over, and he's played a reverse sweep to an over that's been of high quality for Mitch Clayton. He's used the pace, and you can see Sam Billings. Great picture that Sam Billings just absolutely gutted. I mean, that is the fearless brand of cricket we've been talking about.
It's also what you get from Jos Buttler, why he is one of the best players in the world in one-day cricket. Just so unpredictable, so difficult to bowl to. Think for a moment that you're back in the game, and then all of a sudden Just in the flicker, he just takes the game away from you. 6 then from 6 should be straightforward for Stephen Croft, but Sam Northeast still believe he has a chance here, particularly with Butler off strike. He'll have to bring some fielders up.
They've got to take a risk here. Sam Northeast just shouting over to deep square leg. I think he's going to try, and that's Daniel Bell-Drummond down there to bring him up.
Yeah, that's a good call. Third man, though, goes back.
Here we go.
Yeah, probably just take one here. Yeah, very sensible. To let you know at home, if it's a tie, Lancashire will go through because they will have lost less wickets.
What are you going for here, Nick? Reverse sweep? Fine sweep?
That's the beauty of Josh Butler. I mean, we don't know
extra.
up here. Bowler probably hasn't got a clue either. That's why he's so difficult to bowl to.
I wouldn't discount it. Treadwell's come up into the ring, and they've got 2 men up on 1 on the offside. Just a little bit of a delay, just adds to the tension. The crowd are going.
Well then, that's gone up a long way. Lon's coming round and takes the catch. Butler has gone. Kent are still in this game.
Game on. The big Joss Butler, who's played one of the best shots we've seen in the last over, has just chipped one to mid-on. And this game has come alive again. Just try to reach for it. Even Joss Butler, who has such good wrists, couldn't quite get the distance he needed, and Alex Blake takes a very comfortable catch. See how pumped they are. 53 from 37. What a great knock, considering that batting has been quite tough today, but he made it look so easy.
And he's clapping his man off, and he's pretty happy that James Faulkner is the new man in. Cool head usually, but even he, under the immense pressure here, his side really should have won the game by now. So a lot of credit to Kent and Sam Northeast for sticking in there, not giving up. And I said earlier they needed to produce something special. That over from Mitch Claydon, and now Matt Coles. They've got something of a chance here. Captain and Faulkner have to find another 5 runs off 4 balls. Very spirited. They've been quiet, in truth, for most of this innings. Now they feel they've just got a chance. Sam Northeast, again, is taking his time, as he should, to manoeuvre his field. Ashley Giles is thinking one of Ashwell Prince or Joss Butler surely could have seen us through. Oh, then is that out? Should be out. Is out. 2 and 2 for Coles. Would you believe it?
And it's mayhem here. Croft, the captain, who came in to finish it off, and he spooned that straight to deep extra. Kent are on a roll.
Yeah, what pressure on the catch from Fabian Cowdrey. There was no way he was putting that down. And just to remind you at home, if it's a tie, then Lancashire will go through because they've lost less wickets. But there's still plenty to happen in the next 3 deliveries. 5 required from 3.
Jimmy Adams, who said at the beginning of the game he had a lot going through his mind. He's got a lot going through his mind right now. He's got just checking the phone, maybe checking the equation. But look at this Kent team. They really are united. They're a young bunch of guys, and they've done so well to get to this point in the competition. Lancashire feel like they've had the game almost for the majority, but this is a fantastic finish.
Yeah, he's frustrated. I go back to what I thought earlier. I was surprised he walked in. I'm very surprised Faulkner didn't come in anyway. That's for reflection later on. 5 from 3 they need. The ground is absolutely buzzing, as you'd expect here at Canterbury. Side that have played so well throughout the group stage. Matt Cole's on a hat-trick. Oh, nearly. Not sure if there was an edge there, but it wasn't far away from the off stump either. More importantly, it's another dot. 5 from 2.
Well, Faulkner, if there is a man you want at facing the ball, the last couple of deliveries, it's probably him. Or if you're Kent, you don't want him facing, but what's he going to produce here?
That's his slot, but he hasn't found the middle of the bat. He should come back for 2, will come back for 2. Good running. 3 then off the last ball. What an effort this has been from Kent to take it this close, and they'll feel now they've a really good chance of just stealing this game from nowhere. He can't believe it. He can't sit down. They can't sit down.
How have they squandered this? Got Rob Key marching up and down in the commentary box here.
So they need 2. Yeah, that's what he's probably just going to check here, Sam Northeast. We'll keep going on about the tie, but 2 for a tie will see that man and his side through. Situations like this where you're never quite sure, that all the pressure, and you just need a little bit of reassurance from umpires and senior players about exactly what the situation is.
But it's also this time where you've got this kind of waiting game, and as a player you almost just want to get on with it. Just giving the bowler a bit more to think about. The batsman's thinking about what's he going to try here. Is he going to give himself room? Is he going to get across? Is he going to play a match-winning shot like a sweep or a reverse sweep to try and take the glory? All these kind of feelings going through your mind, knowing he only needs 2.
Yeah, well, that's what Sam Northeast is doing now. I think he's making sure that his men in the deep just have to come in a little bit.
Yeah, because the 6 is a 6, and you got to start walking in really quickly and make sure you're saving 2.
Yeah, if you're in the deep, you just have to come in. He's going to try and hit a boundary. His favoured area is mid-wicket. Last ball, 3 required. Down the ground. Can they come back for 2? They should come back for 2. They do come back for 2. And they know that they only need 2 celebrations for Lancashire. They made it so tough for themselves. But the cool head in the end of James Faulkner has just about seen them over the line. You have to feel for Kent. They threw absolutely everything at the end of that game. They played brilliantly throughout the group stages. They nearly messed it up, didn't they? Oh, blimey, they're just about good enough to get over the line.
Tell you what, Nick, that ball could have gone anywhere. It could have hit the middle stump and just stopped right there, and it would be a very different finish. But I guess the team that have probably played the best over this quarter-final deserve to go through. I mean, it's a fantastic finish. James Faulkner, you know, he's done it before in an Australian shirt, and he does it now for Lancashire in a red shirt. Absolutely slams it down the ground, gets a bit of a deflection, which in many ways helped the Kent side. It's a good pickup, but just didn't quite have the pace on the throw to get back to Sam Billings.
He should have been in earlier, in truth, but still just done enough. Oh, that was close, coach. What a brilliant game. What a brilliant quarter-final. They lost out in the final last year. They will be back at finals day, and they look a pretty good side. As I say, they made a little bit of a mess of it, in truth, at the end. To take nothing away from Ken, they'll be so disappointed that they haven't managed to get through on their home ground in front of a full crowd. Josh Buttler, in effect, looked like he was going to take the game away very quickly, but they never ever gave up.
Great effort from Ken, and really good to see. I mean, it just shows the spirit and the culture they've developed over this T20 campaign, you know, to keep going when, if we're honest, it looked like the game was gone. You know, Josh Buttler was going, Ashwell Prince was got a half-century, but they kept believing.
And they're the sort of games, aren't they, that when you play and you get so much out of. Right now they'll be breathing a huge sigh of relief, but when they get to finals day, they'll remember just that close game, and they were just good enough to win. He shouldn't be too upset, Jimmy Adams and his boys. I'm sure he's not really. I'm sure he's very proud of everything they've achieved in this competition. Magnanimous there, but there's a lot more to come, I think, from this group of Kent young cricketers. So Ashwell Prince looked like he was going to take the game away from Kent. 62 from 50, played beautifully, in fact, as did Joss Butler, 53 from 37. But 2 late wickets just made it very interesting. So 142 for 6 is just enough for Lancashire. Matt Coles played his part at the end. He has 3 wickets, but they made it very tight at the end. 3 for 22, Claydon with a wicket, Stevens with a wicket too, and James Treadwell. Perhaps we all felt that James Treadwell might be the key man. Just a wicket for Treadwell, 1 for 28. So it couldn't be closer. Match has been tied, but Lancashire will win and go through to finals day because they lost fewer wickets. Talking about finals day, we know who our finalists will be, and the final will be at Edgbaston on August the 29th. So put that in your diary. If you haven't already got some tickets for that, that should be a brilliant day out. Finals day starts at 10:30 in the morning, and of course it'll be on Sky Sports Ashes channel. Right, time for us to take a quick break. There's so much to talk about. We'll find out what the captain's made of this quite brilliant game. We'll find out who the man of the match is. That might be quite a tricky one. And we'll also find out who's going to play in semi-final 1 and who's going to play in semi-final 2. We have the draw after this break.